All right, and we come back to the fourth full session of Strixhaven. It is currently the fourth day that you all have been here. Uh, you just finished spending your day after your class on red mana, and we bring you both as you come back together. It's around, Dove, in case you've been checking time, it's around 6-ish p.m., mid-twilight. And you both find yourself back into your dorm rooms with each other. Ashan is also here. He is currently up on his bunk, sort of laying on his stomach, reading through a book and writing things down. He does not greet you guys when you walk through the door, as per usual. I don't think that's a surprise.
I feel like we both just saw him today, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dove will probably just be sitting on their bed. I'm not sure what they'll be up to exactly, but I think they'll smile at Motiva and just say, "Oh, good evening, Motiva."
Good evening. She's gonna look to both of you and say, "So, how's everybody doing?"
Oh my god.
Better?
Yes, they were just so loud.
Yeah, the motorcycle was just wildin'.
So, how's everybody doing?
You hear an audible page flip from the top bunk, and he kind of just says, "Oh, you know."
Oh, you two went to the Biblioplex together earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, Motiva like grips at the bunk bed that Ashan is on. She says, "Tell me what you got."
Duff can tell you what I got.
Motiva whips her head around.
Yes, he actually did have me read through one of the books he checked out. Oh, I forgot what it was called.
If you want to look it up, you can, or I can just tell you.
Let me look it up really quick, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No,
Take your
it's
time.
okay.
It's absolute chill vibes. I'm not gonna work myself up past the bare minimum at all today.
Why did I think Mountain Dew tasted good?
That's very unmotiva core of you.
No, that's very un-Ash core of me. Motiva would want Monster energy drinks.
Oh,
not
that's right. I
Mountain
apologize. I got the
Dew.
green sodas mixed up.
It was called The Curious Tale of Wisteria Vale, and it was a play of sorts. It didn't have an author on the front of it, but Ashan said that he checked it out in hopes that it would be rather an interesting find, but upon reading it, it was a bit of a strange play. It almost ended unfinished in a sense, but it was nothing too out of the ordinary.
Motiva's gonna look up and say, "But I know you had two books. What's the other one?"
Dove points a finger and says, I think that's the one he's studying through at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually get through some of it. He makes a pointed look down at Motiva, but he kind of rolls his eyes, not looking too put out. He says it's like a paper on like extra dimensional like spells and stuff. It's taking a bit to get through all the writing in the margins, but I have a feeling that both writers are talking about very different things. So, but if you want to see if you can look over this play and see if you can notice anything weird, feel free.
Motiva's going to do a little grabby hand and says, "I love weird writings."
Yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this book. It has So it's kind of a thin book, as plays usually are. It has a green leather cover with these sort of like stamped, embossed leaves and vines on it. As Dove says, there's no author, but there's sort of like gold lettering that says The Curious Tale of Wisteria Vale. Do you want to read it?
1 second. I need to look at something. Oh, come on. Yes.
Okay, so this is a whole book, so if you want to sit down and actually read all of it, it will take a bit of time. But I can go ahead and send you the first act and say that that takes like 10 minutes of concentrated reading.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go and send that to you first. And while
Wow.
Motiva's doing that, you can talk to Sean if you want, or do other things. It's up to you.
I think because Ashan is busy trying to study the book, I think Dev is going to crack out their raunchy find. Or not
Yeah.
raunchy exactly, kind of, but romance book.
Yeah, you
that
can
they
definitely
found.
start. You can definitely start reading it. It definitely doesn't necessarily get raunchy in the beginning, but there's very like lavish descriptions of bodies and body parts, and you feel like it's supposed to be like this sexual tension as the protagonist moves into the vineyard farmhouse. Kind of cheeky, kind of fun.
I think Dev is just reading it with a very amused smile on his face the whole time.
No, yeah, oh yeah.
Is this handwritten?
It's okay. I'm gonna be honest. Every book that you're gonna read that's not from Earth is essentially handwritten. It looks like a manuscript. It looks like it was penned, but it's not like a journal, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this is a very good question. No, it is not the same as that.
Okay. Motiva looks less impressed as she keeps reading.
Okay, do you want to read the second act?
Yes.
Okay,
Motiva will read the entire manuscript.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely say that you guys can spend time reading. So here's Act 2, and then I'll give you Act 3. This will be about a total of 45 minutes to read all of it in total. You guys can just all have a little steady reading time. I realized for the recording it would be more interesting if I read it off, but it is what it is.
Fuck the recording.
Fuck the recording. You guys can always find it in DMs.
Can I be really embarrassing for a moment?
Yeah,
Yes.
what's up?
I think as Dove continues to read through this book, almost subconsciously, I want them to shift their appearance to that tiefling I showed both of you earlier. So they just turn into this feminine pink tiefling with like green eyes that have a bit of like a heart shine to them and that like pink to orange gradient braided hair with the bangs.
That's so cute!
And a
'Cause
little
you're
bit of
reading
claws
romance.
and she's just sitting there and she has a little bit of a tail that can't really like move or thump obviously, but as Dove changes their appearance, I think she just lets out this really dreamy sigh and she just keeps reading the book with a hand over her chest.
That's so cute. That's so cute.
Motiva will like pat her on the shoulder and just say, there, you'll get it someday. And she just keeps reading, and then she just kind of looks and she looks up and she says, I'm gonna be honest, guys. This just looks like a play. You picked up the most boring thing you could have picked up.
Yeah. Had to try though. I didn't really have much of a chance to look around.
I know what you mean. Mativa's gonna poke over and she's gonna try and see what the writing looks like on his book.
Delicious. So since it is like a bunk bed, I'm not saying that you're not tall, but I am saying to be able to actually look at the book, you would have to go up and then like either stand on the bed below it or get on the ladder to like look at the book and get a vantage point to try and read anything.
Yeah, she'll hop on the other bunk.
I think that's Flynn's bed.
That's okay. She's
uh,
not wearing her shoes.
I
Oh, is
want you to...
Uli in here?
Oh yeah, sure. Uli can be in here.
I want them to go over and scoop up Uli.
Nice. I will say that since you have a pretty good animal handling and this is a domesticated animal, you don't even have to make a check. I think that Uli kind of lets you and does that thing that bats do where they kind of grab you with their finger.
Yeah, I think Dove cups their hands together in that way, and kind of holds the bat up against her face, and she just kind of giggles and she goes back to the bed with him.
Yeah.
A
Hold on. I
little
heard
buddy
a
to
thump.
read with.
Heard a thump somewhere. Oh, she got into the pantry. That's fine.
Lily.
Yeah, a little buddy. He's really cute because he's a flying fox, so he's actually pretty big.
Also fluffy.
Yeah, very fluffy, very soft. Nice. So Motiva, I'm gonna say you can roll a perception as long as you're just trying to get up to look.
I am just getting up to get a little look-see.
Yeah. The roll is just gonna basically see how much you can read of this page in like 2 seconds.
Something.
That's not bad. So basically, you see that it's sort of this like worn leather book. Let me go and look at it. My book PDF is not my book PDF. My book note like catalog is actually super hard to look through.
I can believe it. You have a lot of books written down, babe.
I do. Yeah, it's sort of this worn like leather book with like this gold filigree on it. And it has like one of those really old-timey like book locks, Yeah. And you kind of look at it and it is again sort of a handwritten but very meticulously wrote book. But what Ashan said is true. There's a lot of writing in the margins that seem to have a lot of like they're very wordy writings and comments on the nature of the book. From kind of reading along the page, it is very dry, but it's essentially talking at length about, well, at least the page that he's on. It's talking sort of at length about the idea of having hidden rooms or having magical compartments that can be used as rooms, that sort of thing.
Oh, I know this. Hassan had this book.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
Shut up.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Motiva's gonna look at it and she's gonna pop back down and she's gonna say, "You're never gonna get through that. That reads like chalk."
No, it kind of sucks. But I'm hoping that these scribbles are more interesting. I gotta piece them together a bit. And you see that that's kind of like why he's writing things down. He's like writing down specifically the written elements of this book.
Cornell notes, but for him.
Yeah, literally. Time to decode this book.
Motiva's gonna curl up onto her. You know what? Motiva's actually gonna look under her bunk and she's going to look it up and she is going to say, "So I found out something juicy today.
Oh,
Uh, she thinks for a second and she says, "So I talked to some of the students that work at the Strixhaven Star. You know how I told you that, well, I'm pretty sure I told you that Rowan and Will got fucked up because they messed with a snarl?
oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Nobody knows that that happened. They didn't know what I was talking about.
But, like, they mentioned that, right?
Uh,
Rowan and Will?
Rowan mentioned that it happened, yes, and that it was very big, but they don't know that it happened. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the Strixhaven Snarl, and they used it, and then
I
nobody knows.
I wonder if it can, like, wipe your memories.
I was actually. Motiva's gonna pat on the bed. Can I sit?
Yeah, I think I'm done reading the book for now anyway.
Motiva's gonna sit on down and she's gonna get into her little crisscross and she's gonna say, "So, I genuinely think that something happened and people just don't remember. Or crazy magic nonsense. I don't really know the lengths that magic can do, but if Rowan somehow managed to rip apart an entire leg and fuck up her head," she like gestures with her wrist. "I feel like it isn't crazy to say that anybody who witnessed it could forget."
That's a little bit scary, I won't lie.
It is a little bit scary, yeah. Nobody knew that it happened. Oh, I also found out the name of the boy that we saw at the duel.
Oh, really? What was his name?
His name's Killian Liu.
That's a stupid name.
He kind of sounds a bit scary. Actually, it sounds like he doesn't usually do stuff like that. Apparently, duels are very personal.
Hmm. At this point, I'm just going to go back to their usual appearance.
That's fair.
But he was gonna smile and say, "I don't know, it's just kind of weird, just kind of funny, just kind of furry, just kind of a little bit scary."
No, it is definitely strange.
Yeah. I like tried to ask them about it. And was just like, "Hey, what happened to Rowan?" And they were just like, "What do you mean, what happened to Rowan? Nobody messed with the snarl." And then I was just like, "What do you mean?" And they said, "We're gonna find out." And I said, "Be careful."
Wait, who did you ask that to?
Moti was gonna pick up and say, Grayson and Mina. They're like the big head honchos at the Strixhaven Star, as far as I can tell. I know
Well,
nobody's in charge of the clubs, but
maybe they covered it up after it happened. Maybe only the faculty knew.
maybe only the faculty knew, but they should have known. They know everything. I literally asked a bunch of
Right,
questions, but
right. Well, usually they would know everything, but considering they are part of the newspaper, that might be why they didn't know in this case.
so you want to ask Mr. Quintilius or Xanther and see if they know?
Why would they know?
They're still social, but they're not Snoopy.
I don't know. I think the faculty would know. I'm not sure about other students, though.
Ooh, do you want to ask Professor Onyx? Motiva just like,
You can if you're that curious about it.
I don't want to go within 25 feet of her. She scares me.
She was fine when she was here.
She has a feeling around. Listen, I've been told that
Motiva, just because she's a necromancer doesn't mean anything.
it's not that she's a necromancer. I could care less about that. It's literally just how she carries herself, how she talks.
It's also true.
Like, I don't mean to say that this is like a nefarious plot to murder all of the people here on this floor. I'm just saying.
Well, it's not bad to be cautious of it. I mean, we were spirited away from our worlds to be here, so being cautious about it isn't a bad thing.
It's also weird because I found out something from Museum. Motiva's going to share the stuff that we learned about in the that I shared with you about Nikki B.
Uh,
Amonkhet getting fucking conquered
yeah.
by a planeswalker. And Motiva's gonna perk up and say, "Did you know that your spark can be stolen?"
I hardly know anything about my spark, actually, let alone that.
I know, right? Yeah, no, if we're gonna ask Miss Professor Onyx a question, I think I would rather ask that. If she's like one of the most studied about the stuff like this, she most definitely knows about that. Oh, also, Musim thought that she was probably fucking immortal. That's freaky.
Thought Professor Onyx was immortal?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, I do
probably.
remember something being brought up during that conversation that sparks can make you very powerful in terms of that. I think immortality was mentioned before.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, that was something like that. He also thought that she could be inhuman, and I don't know how it is outside of other worlds, but where I'm from, necromancy has the potential to give you a long life in writing, anyway. Motiva like puts quotes around that. So I can believe she's extended her life, whether it's through her having a spark or her necromantic ability.
No, it's definitely a similar thing where I come from as well. There's even a religion centered around it where they use necromancy and the like, and pursue forms of undead as immortality. Some of them, not all of them.
No, I can believe that. Not all faiths are the same, and I'm not weird for being freaked out by that, though, right? Like the whole spark being stolen thing.
Uh, no, I mean, it is definitely strange. I suppose, well, it's all still so new to me anyway that it's a bit hard to grasp the concept of what a spark is, let alone the fact that it could be stolen from you and whatever that could mean once it's stolen.
Yeah. Should we just ask?
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with asking.
I wouldn't. You'd have to come with me.
Are you scared?
Yes.
I will protect you, Motiva. I won't let anything happen to you.
Ooh. No, I can't be scared.
Are
Yeah.
you thinking about going tonight or another night?
I was thinking we could go maybe tomorrow after class or study hall.
I think that's a fine time to go.
Yeah, I'm worried if we go now, we'll be cutting into Professor Onyx's personal time.
That is very true. It's a bit late into the evening already. I'm not sure what my plans are for tomorrow, but oh, I did recently officially join the Play Actors Drama Guild.
Ooh.
Nothing exciting will happen just yet, but I am very excited to see what plays are in the future.
Who's all in it?
In the club so far, I only know Quintilius and a Silver Quill fourth-year woman named Rubina.
Oh, I know Rubina. She was at a
Oh, you
concert.
do? Quintilius
Yeah.
was saying that she had a force of personality about her.
It's true. She stopped me from being a rude little brat. It was very fun. I think she's very interesting. I only spoke with her for 5 seconds, but she has a personality that stays, or like a feeling.
I understand. I'm very excited to meet her. But yes, so I'm not sure when in the day I would be going to those kinds of meetings. I would have to check with Quintilius in the mornings. Um, but it would just be meeting the club members, introductions, getting used to resources and the like.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, but if we are going tomorrow night, as far as I know, that should be okay.
I would like that, Dove. It would make me so happy if you saved my poor little heart. Oh God, I'm fainting. And she just fucking flops.
You hear Ashan from the other bunk, get a room.
This is the room, actually.
One
This
without
is
me in it.
unfortunately our shared room.
You do have a book about
Oh,
spaces.
Motiva, I know just the place we could go. We could take this to the shared bathrooms for everyone to see.
Dove, no. You know what we could really do? You
Oh,
know
what's
what
that,
would really heat
Motiva?
me up?
Oh,
Motiva's
what's
gonna
that?
take Dove's hand. She's going to say, "You should trust me."
Well, when you say it like that, I do have second thoughts, but please continue.
I am a sweet little baby human who's done nothing wrong ever. You should follow me.
Humans do everything wrong, my dear.
I am well aware of that. I come from a world of only humans. I hate them more than anybody could. Come on.
Are you getting up off the bed?
Yeah, Motiva's
Okay.
like gesturing for Dove to follow her.
Ooh.
Deb will get off the bed with her.
Where are we going?
Motiva wants to take Dove to the sauna in the Silver Quill campus.
Ooh, I have to go change the music. Let's go to Silver Quill. One of these days I'll get actual music for specifically the Grey Room, but
That's not now.
that is not now.
Motiva's gonna perk up and she's gonna say, "You're an actor, so you have to keep your skin nice and clear and keep your muscles relaxed. Especially starting now, you're gonna have so much pressure on you. So I recommend the sauna. It's sacred to my people.
Really now?
The sauna is the second church." That is an actual quote. I am not messing with you.
As you guys sort of banter back and forth, you go to start walking, and as it's mid-twilight, it still has a good bit of light out, that sort of dim light that you're accustomed to the majority of the day being. And as you walk out, you see the flurries of snow come to fall around you and start building up on all of the lawns and trees and statues. And it's particularly elegant and grandiose when you step back onto Silverquill campus. As you make your way back to the Grey Room and to Motiva's beloved sauna.
My sauna.
I did not have the chance to use it when we were here before, but I made sure to do plenty of skincare in the makeup room.
Oh, I'm sure.
You walk through the halls and you pass a good number of students coming and going of various color denominations. And you make your way to the rooms that you came to the other day. I would love for you guys to tell me exactly what you guys want to do. What's Motiva's sauna routine? Does Dev want to do anything before going and sweating it?
Mm. I don't think Dove has any other ideas of what to do, so I think Dove will just go into the sauna.
Melty time.
Motiva's gonna scratch up her back and arms
Okay.
and legs.
We love exfoliation.
Well, she's going to put on her itty bitty towel and she's going to look to Dove and she's going to say, "Let's go."
Oh, Dove will also put on a towel, sorry.
No, you're a-okay. You can choose how you come in. If you want to wear underclothes, if you want to wear a towel. You also technically could go in naked. I think some saunas do let you do that. As you sort
Yeah.
of come into the hot steam, you once again see that this sauna is a pretty it's not that spacious. Saunas kind of don't do well when they're that big, but it is like a decent size. And you actually see that there is a good handful of students here. You get the idea that the Grey Room gets the most traffic in the early morning and in the evening.
Anybody we know?
Yeah, I can check for you. Hold on one second.
I think right before they step into the sauna, Dove will kind of tie up their hair into like a bun, but with like their own hair to hold it in place. You know,
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just to keep it off their neck. They don't want all that.
That means fire.
Sorry, hold on. I'm specifically looking for people that you would know. I'm gonna say that people that you recognize, you would see Neri, who's a first year like you, Cinder, and Mina.
Oh shit.
Ooh, fuck.
What a lineup.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they're sitting nowhere near each other.
Neri and Cinder are sitting together, but Mina is kind of sitting off and relaxing on her own. As far as their levels of dress, you see that Neri is fully wearing a towel. Cinder has on this sort of it looks similar to what you would assume like swimming clothes would look like, although dated. Like it's not exactly a swimsuit, but it is like clothes meant for getting wet. And Mina also is wearing a towel with her hair sort of pulled back to be out of her way.
Motiva's gonna hip bump Dove. What would you like to say?
Is there anyone you'd like to talk to?
Oh, not particularly. I came here to be with you.
Oh, Motiva,
That's
stop. You'll make me
gay.
blush.
Can you blush?
Yes, if I choose to. Well, I honestly wouldn't mind the extra company. I haven't gotten to meet Mina yet, though I've heard you talk about her a few times.
Motiva will gesture and say, "I dare you to make the first move of talking to her." I think it would be fun to see how you approach her. I'll come with you.
Thanks, Motiva. You always make it so easy for me.
I love to tease.
And we'll just walk over with towel around him, obviously, and sit a bit close to Mina, but not overly comfortably close, if that makes sense. Like close enough that it's clear that they're sitting next to her, but not like up on her shoulder, like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, do you think that that means like arm's length or like a little more than arm's length or like farther than
think
that? Like, what
arm's
do you
length.
think?
Like,
Okay.
I think arm's length is a fine way.
Yeah, I think that's a good amount. Okay, so you go and you go to sit down. I don't think there's an immediate reaction besides just like a cursory looking over. And as you get closer, you see that she has like this little fan, and she's like gently fanning herself as she sweats.
Good evening. Your name is Mina, correct?
She looks over at you again, and she says, "Yeah, that's me, Mina Lee. Who's asking?"
Oh, Motiva has told me all about you. My name is Dove. I'm one of her roommates.
Oh, a friend of Miss Motiva. And you see that she
Yes.
actually goes to look around and then spots you.
Motiva slides on up and she says, "Hi."
Hey, you. And then
Hi.
she goes to turn to Dove and say, "It's nice to meet you," and hold out like a hand.
Also holds out a hand and will go to shake it with a gentle grasp.
Nice. It is a little awkward to shake hands in a sauna, but you guys make it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
It's the thought that counts, you know. um, and she kind of grins at you both and says, "I see you found Strixhaven's best amenity so far."
Oh, the makeup room is to die for with all those products.
It is. It is.
Quintilius was actually the one who told me about the Grey Room.
Oh, Quintilius. And you see, she looks over at Motiva and says, then looks back over to Dove and says, how would Mina comment on Quintilius? I think that she would just comment that she, sees him here more often than not.
He sounds like quite the busy man, honestly.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. With how often he's on Silverquill campus, we might as well elect him as an honorary Silverquill.
He seems like he'd join just so he can be closer to the amenities, and Motiva's going to fucking corner Miss Mina, and she's gonna sit on the other side of her.
Oh, nice. How close are you sitting?
Arm's length.
Okay.
Motiva's gonna look at Dove and say, "So, I think you had a question for Miss Mina."
Did I?
You said something about her hair.
Well, I think she looks lovely if that's what you meant, but I think you're setting me up here in front of such a pretty lady.
It's fun though.
By all means, keep talking.
Oh,
Should we-
how could I go on, Miss Mina? Your beauty is talked about all through the campus, you know. I'm sure you know, though.
Of course, I know. Of course, with how many people who want glowing reviews in the paper, I know.
Oh, I'm sure everyone is trying to be your best friend.
You'd be surprised. But she says it like in a playful way. And she's like grinning at you.
Where I'm from, people want to eat the teeth off of reporters.
Oh, newspapers are just terrible where I came from as well. Half of them were just propaganda.
Hey.
Well, around here we try to be more partial to what we say.
Oh, of course, I meant no disrespect. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to assure you that we post nothing if not the truth.
I did actually purchase this week's copy, and I did have a question about that actually. Um, is there a certain article that you're responsible for in the newspaper?
Yes, I generally do a lot of the investigating and writing of the articles specifically.
Oh, that sounds lovely. So you're really out in the field then.
Yes, gotta keep on your
Um,
toes.
of course. Um, in the gossip column this week, I noticed there was mention of something called, what was it? Sally Jane?
Motiva
Oh.
pops up.
Hmm.
Where is it?
Oh, you're asking me where she's at?
Yes. Yeah.
And she fans herself with like this sort of like Cheshire smile and says, "What are you putting on the table to find out?"
I will make her beautiful with my makeup skills.
Oh, come on. At least tell me what we're talking about, please.
And you'll give her back to
Uh,
the populace at large, correct?
oh, of course. I just want to make her beautiful.
Of course. And she goes to kind of look over sympathetically at Dove and says, Sally Jane is a staple of Strixhaven University. It has been lauded over the years as one of the many wonders, and a particular favorite of students. It's a doll that has been enchanted to say many an amusing, if cutting, thing. Uh, Students find it particularly enjoyable. Faculty does not agree.
Ah, so Rosie must have done something to get it taken by the faculty then?
She what?
Yes.
Motiva just sets her head back. But I wanted her.
I know. I. Listen. I
How
can
can you
tell you how to
console
get her
me?
if you're
Motiva
willing to
sits
get her
her
back.
ass up.
For the morale of the school.
I'll try.
So, you're all first years. You wouldn't have seen this place yet, but on the central campus there is a place called Dapplewings Manor. It's a home essentially that was built for a very lauded professor here who wanted to continue staying on campus after retirement. He has long since passed, but it's sort of used as a teacher's lounge, a place where favored students can come and speak with faculty. Sometimes there are parties. And in the attic is where they store confiscated items. I think I don't have to instruct you on how getting it back might be done.
Interesting.
I would never want to be a bad role model to such hopeful first year students.
When getting it back, considering this is the magic university on this world, um, any expected magical wards or the like?
Let me think. And this is code for I need to look at the book.
Ooh, the Strixhaven book is being opened after 13 years.
Dev just
After
smiles. Go
44
ahead.
minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
Dev just smiles over to Mativa and says, Mativa, you never told me that Mina liked to get up into trouble.
Motiva just kind of shrugs and she says, I just think it's kind of expected from reporters.
That is very true.
You have to work in the field, and sometimes you can't get a good story without cracking a few eggs. But you didn't hear that from me.
What do you mean? Mina, you're fanning a bit too hard.
You are much smarter than you like to let on. And she goes to like pinch your cheek.
Ah!
Okay, so 1 second. Well, first of all, it, like most places on campus, it does close at certain points of the day, between 10 and 6 p.m. Well, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. No one is allowed on the grounds. Not surprising anyone. Um,
I'm sorry for the occasional popper noise.
No, it's
No.
okay, Bestie.
You're okay. On top of that, she would also kind of look around conspiratorially and say, I will, however, say that I have it under good authority that it is one of the only buildings on campus that isn't magically locked. But it does have security. I would love to give you details, but this is not the first nor the last heist done on the manor, so they've learned to change it up pretty routinely.
If my dear friend here really did get the doll back, let's say, and a certain article was to be published about it, you would omit her name as to not get her into trouble, right?
Oh, of course, but I would do you one better, and I would make sure that every student who hears knows exactly who did it.
Oh, that's beautiful and devious. I love it.
Of course, who wouldn't want to do a daring rescue and not get any of the credit?
Why do the teachers not like her?
Some of the less tactful students sometimes use her to disrupt class. I also will again return to the fact that she does say some very rude things, and some teachers do not take kindly to that if it's directed at them. But I think the insults tailor-made to you are kind of part of the humorous charm that she has.
Oh, absolutely. I brought this up to Rowan. She's the first one that mentioned the doll to me, but where I'm from, we pay people to do that. It's so fun.
I'm glad you understand.
Sometimes if an insult is just so original and funny, you can't even be mad.
It's true. You would be surprised at some of the things that she says.
Ooh, a bit off topic, but you also work in the Fire Jolt Cafe, don't you, Mina?
I do, yes. I work as a barista.
Yes, I thought I must have seen you there some mornings. I just haven't had the chance to really introduce myself yet, but the drinks that you have there are so good.
Why, thank you. I like to think that we have some of the best beverages on campus. Though I will say that some of the better ones are thanks to Alina and not quite myself.
Alina?
Yes, Alina Tanglewood. She's the manager of the cafe. She is the one that makes the magic lattes.
Ah.
Yes, I'm not quite at that skill level just yet.
I don't know, your magic's kind of cool.
Well, thank you.
Motiva's actually gonna look to Dove. Do you know how to handle being in a sauna, Dove?
Not exactly.
How long have we been in the sauna?
I think that this conversation's been going on for kind of a while, so I want to say maybe like 20 minutes.
Motiva's going to point and say, well, you're gonna start by not touching anybody now. There's a funny little layer over us now that's protecting us from actually getting terribly burnt. Also, don't try to cool yourself down or you will give yourself third-degree burns. If you get too hot, just tell me and we'll leave, okay?
Sounds perfect. I will keep my hands to myself.
You see Mina kind of smiles over at you and says, "Don't worry, if you visit long enough, you'll get the hang of it."
You probably won't last too long if this is your first time in a sauna, but otherwise, I do hope you enjoy this, Dove. I did kind of force you out here.
Oh, I love trying new things. It's really no trouble at all.
I think this is lovely. Motiva's just gonna lean her head back.
Oh, so Quintilius is a regular at the Fire Jolt, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes, I can't help but notice the slight pained tone to your voice. Just the other day I was discussing his rather complex, shall we say, drink that he orders every morning.
Yes, don't worry. It's included in our training now.
How to make his drink specifically.
Yes.
Oh, Mina, I'm so sorry.
She kind of sighs but gives a laugh and waves a hand, and she says, "It's not quite as bad. He does tip well, so there is that."
Oh, that is nice of him.
Yes, don't worry. He makes it very apparent that he has money to throw around, and if it's thrown at me, I don't mind.
I was quite surprised when he told me he was in 2 clubs and still had all of that money, and then he told me how he got it, and now I'm not as surprised.
Whoa, Motiva just sits and looks over.
Mina kind of smiles at Motiva and says, "I think his personality is self-explanatory, but Dev can tell the story."
Um, Specifically when he goes back home to Silk Meadow, which is a town over the mountains, his family has a bit of money, I would assume. Because what he told me is that he gets the funds from whenever he visits his family and just has himself on a budget when he comes back. But of course, the coffee is part of that budget.
Of course it is. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's expected. Fifth son of a fifth son of a fifth son, after all.
It is a bit strange to know that there's a lot of big money at this college, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
We feel a bit out of place.
Yeah.
It's
So,
not the most common. Most people actually come here on scholarship. You just hear about the people with money more often, if that makes sense.
that is very true. Well, Fletcher was able to come here and his family saved up the money just fine.
Oh, is Fletcher from Arcavius?
Yes, Fletcher is from Arcavios. Fletcher lived on a farm with his father.
Ah.
He also lived near Silk Meadow, but not exactly in it, of course.
Interesting. Ooh, Motiva's gonna look over and she's gonna say, Mina, I know this is personal, but could you tell me where you're from?
I suppose I can give you that. Mina would tell you that she is from Sorry, I have to get her little thing open.
Her little thingy thing. Fun fact, saunas can actually really fuck you up if you don't act appropriately in them.
I can
Yep,
believe
you
it.
are not correct. She would actually say that she is from Dorager.
Is that a small town, a big town, a city?
I would say it's a pretty big city. Not the biggest city, mind you, but we are on our own peninsula on the other side of the mountains and then the desert. So the other side of the continent, essentially. But we're the biggest city in the area over there.
That's fun.
I think it's quite nice.
You should ask Dub about his city. I think it's quite interesting to hear about.
Oh, I would love to hear any information you're willing to give me.
Natia just looks over. Tell her about how it's sideways.
Dove just smiles at Vita and says, I feel like there's a professional curiosity at play here. Am I mistaken?
I don't know what you mean. I just enjoy knowing as much as I am able. Not everything that goes in my head goes in the paper.
That's fair, that's fair.
If you wrote about it in the paper, nobody would believe you. Go ahead. Tell her.
Well, the world that I come from, it's called Eberron. And I lived in a city called Sean, which was actually the biggest city on the continent of Corvair, in the nation of Breland. And the interesting thing about Sean is that it was built over what we call manifest zones, which are linked to the different planes of existence on our world. The specific manifest zone that Sean was built over is one that was linked to a plane of air where things fly, things float, and then which influenced Sean, as it had to be a vertical city built on a peninsula surrounded by mountains. It couldn't expand outwards, so they had to build it upward. So it's a 3-tiered city, and actually, as they're explaining it, they do a similar thing, like when they were talking to Fletcher and they cast prestidigitation, and they kind of make a makeshift model of Sharn in their hand. An illusion, obviously, and they kind of hold it out to her as they talk. And it's a 3-tiered city, the lower ward, the middle ward, and the upper ward, and then up at the very top here, floating by itself, is called Skyway. And the manifest zone influences certain districts like Skyway, or certain islands of mansions and the like, to float, and also aids in flying, floating, anything like that. I lived in the lower ward here, and each ward was broken up further into districts and parts of those within. And yes, it was actually very different than any other city, as ground travel was fine, but the true way of getting around was flying. So flying mounts and sky coaches and the like would get you from one ward to the other very quickly. And as there was many bridges and balconies, falling was a true danger. So some would be enchanted with the Featherfall spell, so if you fell, there was no danger of falling to your death.
Interesting. I imagine it's a pretty big change of pace compared to here.
It is actually. I only ever grew up within Sean. This was actually my first time ever leaving the city.
Well, I hope that you're enjoying your stay.
It is. It's very beautiful here.
I quite like it. I think that as the time is ticking in your little sauna trip, I think that Mina is going to kind of stand up and give a bit of a stretch and say, well, this has been a lovely chat, but I'm going to take a very quick cold dip before I get ready for bed.
It was lovely to meet you.
Of course, and it was lovely to meet you. I hope that you guys come and see me again. I think conversations like this are very helpful both ways. And keep me posted on if you be a very upright and upstanding student. And she winks at Motiva.
Motiva just shoots finger guns and she says, I'm doing my best, you know?
And I believe that you are.
We
Have a
talked
good
for
night.
class.
Night night.
And she is going to walk out. I like
Motiva.
Nina.
Motiva just fucking whips her head over to Dove. She's cool.
Dove is just smiling and says, "Oh, she is trouble, but I like her."
Troublemakers get stuff done, Dove.
It's very true.
Motiva is going to look like she holds out her hand for a second and then just and she says, I think we should head to bed too. We have class in the morning.
It's very true.
Motiva is going to pick up a bit of wood. She's going to knock it 3 times on a chair and she's going to throw it in the fire and say, let's go.
As they're leaving, I would like Dove to wave and smile to Neri and Cinder if they're still here.
Yeah, I think that by the time you leave, they also leave and they give you a bit of a wave as you part ways.
Delicious.
Yes. Since Neri was in the sauna, you probably see her wolf standing guard outside the door.
Wolf said no hot.
No hot.
No spicy.
Actually, as they're leaving, Dove will just stop really quick and say, I know that he is working, of course, but is it all right if I pet him?
Oh, yes, you can. He's just sitting right now. He's not doing anything.
And Dove will go to try to give a chin scratch.
Nice. You go to hold out a hand, and I want you to roll me an animal handling. I want to see how jumping at the bit this wolf is to get these scratches.
14.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you go to hold out your hand, and you see that like he almost sorts of like warily looks at it for a second, but the closer you get, he like leans into it and he like licks the inside of your wrist while you scratch him.
And Dove is just moving with that, not moving super fast at an animal like you were not supposed to do, just very like gently letting it sniff him first, all that stuff.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I lost the name of this wolf.
You're a monster.
I know. Hold on. Sorry, I want to find it. It's important to me that you're introduced to the wolf.
What a good boy. A domesticated wolf.
Yes.
Good wolf.
Neri would introduce you and say that the wolf's name is Aspen.
Oh,
And she would clarify,
That's a-
like the tree.
like the tree.
That's a wonderful name.
Thank you. He's a very dependable boy, and you see that they lean down to give some little pats.
He's very sweet as well. And then we'll go ahead and step back and give Mr. Aspen some space.
Nice. Aspen.
Well, thank you for letting me pet him.
Aspen gives you a little. Oh.
You're
Neri
such
smiles.
a handsome boy, aren't you?
It's true. He's strong and handsome and kind and dependable.
All you could want in a man, really.
It's true. It's true. But I'll see you in class tomorrow.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
And they give a wave, and you go about your way. I hope you liked your sauna trip.
Yes.
Sawana.
I got to meet Miss Mina.
Finally got to meet Nina.
You got to see Miss Mina half naked, while you guys were also half naked.
Wait, I
Oh.
hold up a gun.
Yeah.
What were her biddies like?
Her biddies. I think she has some bazongas. I don't think they're like
What was
the biggest, but she do got some big boobies.
Miss
Oh.
Cinders like?
Huh?
What was Miss Cinders like?
Miss Cinder has huge bahonkers.
Yay!
And it's like, I feel like the top of like her swimming ensemble is like a halter. So like big boobies with a lot of cleavage. And keep in mind,
Nice.
she is taller than you. You are tit height.
Oh, Motiva is actually real quick. We don't have to RP this out, but Motiva
Yeah.
will tell Dove he should take a quick dunk and a cool bath so that he doesn't get hypothermia.
Yeah, doing a dunk after a sauna is very good for the blood.
That will do so.
Nice. I know that you have expressed that Dove is not a fan of the cold, but by the time you get out of the water, even though it is a shocking experience, it is really refreshing.
Yeah, Dub probably steps into the cold water and just like lets out a gasp. Like,
Yeah.
has to force themselves to go in further.
Motiva trying not to laugh.
I love Dove.
A Dub will step out with a cold bath and get ready to go.
Yes, you dry off and you get dressed. You can do any lingering skincare that you want, but you have a chance to take the items with you, so I'm sure you have your items at the dorm room.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything specific that Dove is meaning to grab at the moment.
Yeah. And then you can wander back. By the time you start wandering, you can see that the sun is not quite setting, but it is like starting to set. You imagine that it might actually get dark in a couple hours, and it's still lightly snowing. It's been about 2 hours, so it's enough for like your feet to crunch a little bit.
John made fun of me earlier for this, but I'm very unused to this kind of weather. I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle it once it gets even colder.
Can I be honest with you, Dove?
Sure.
This is really embarrassing, but I'm probably going to make fun of you too.
Killed on impact.
Motiva just smiles and says, "Where I'm from, it gets very cold. I just gave away my jacket, so I can't give you mine. But if you like, I can try to see.
Oh, please don't trouble yourself on my part. I'll be just fine.
Oh, will you?"
Yes, I'll be just fine. I'm going to keep all my complaints to myself from now on.
Motiva's just gonna look. She's gonna say, "Will you though?"
Oh, yes, I'm just fine. I've never felt better. In fact, I love the cold. I love the snow. I love it all.
Motiva's gonna stop walking and she's gonna say, "Okay, Dove, stand still for 2 seconds."
Nope, I am going.
Motiva chases after. Dove, no! And we can skip.
I thought that was a very cute interaction. I'm sorry that you're the butt of the joke, Dove. I'm sorry, my beloved.
He deserves to be a little bit humbled. He's too perfect. He has to have a character flaw, and this is it.
His character flaw, hate cold.
Four.
Hate cold. No jacket.
No
Go
jacket,
ahead.
hate cold. Yeah, but you go back to the dorm room. Ashana's still doing what he's been doing, which isn't technically surprising. You haven't been gone that long. But now it's about 8, so if you want to get a nice, solid, full rest before you get up, get your coffee and your breakfast, and go to class, now is a good time to go to bed.
Ashan, I did have a question for you before we went to bed for the evening.
Hmm?
I know that you do like to sleep in, but if we go to the cafe, would you like us to bring anything back?
You see he sort of taps the paper with the back of his pen. No, I think I'm good.
All right. Motiva,
Starve
what
then.
about you? Do you... Motiva!
Dove holding Motiva back. Stop being weird! Stop it!
Motiva, I was trying to ask you, do you prefer to sleep in the mornings? I could leave a bit earlier and bring something back for you as well, so you could sleep in a bit longer.
That's
Oh
cute.
no, I like waking up early. I have she floofs her hair. I have a lot of hair that needs to be taken care of in the morning, so I need to get up early always.
Oh, I completely understand.
Thank you. I'm
Alright.
not as chipper as you, but go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna ask if there's anything else you wanted to do before you laid down.
Nighttime skincare routine, then Dove is passing out.
Nice. Nice. That's good. Back over here. Okay. You guys go to bed. I want you both to roll me perception checks.
Hey,
Why?
fuck?
Don't worry about it.
17.
17.
17.
Nice. Hello.
15.
Nice.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. You're welcome to listen, and it's actually great that you came to listen because this is a scene that you would notice. So that's
I
very
held your
cool.
bat earlier. I'm sorry. I wanted to cuddle with him.
Yeah, we were holding your bat as a fun little hangout prop. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm getting you music.
Ooh.
So, as you both go to lay down, you find sleep very easily. But Falin, as you are sort of up, doing what we will elaborate on later, you feel a chill in the room. And you hear a sound similar to a sob. As you realize that your dorm room has another midnight visitor. You look over and you see a figure kneeling next to Motiva's bed. It looks to be a young woman wearing a torn and stained dress, hair tied back in a headscarf, and face buried in her hands. As she cries, and that's all she does until you can see the sun peek through the windows, and she fades away. But now I can put back on the cafe music.
I got that.
Ludiva,
Hey,
you need to
Sarah.
take your ghost on a walk for her mental health.
Hey guys, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
That's not cis. Anyway.
Okay, so you're just Ghost Magnet Central over here, I guess.
We
Yes.
love multiple
Okay.
ghosts.
Jesus Christ. Leave some for the rest of us.
Ghost to Electric Boogaloo. Haha, yeah. But neither of the other two know this, and you will have to be told about it later if Falin shares it with you. So, skirt, let's get you some breakfast.
I keep missing all the goddamn ghost times.
I'm sorry, my bestie. I'm sorry.
I can't afford the exhaustion.
Yeah, simply do not sleep.
Anyway, Devil, get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, do their hair, skincare routine, the works.
Yeah, you guys get up and do your little song and dance of getting ready in the morning. And I think that this is a beautiful time to introduce you to some of the faces that you haven't had a chance to talk to yet.
Oh, thank God.
So, something fun as you're sort of getting ready. The first day that you got ready, it was kind of like a joke of like, wow, where's everybody else? We're the only one taking advantage of this, like, getting ready time before class. But as things have sort of settled down into the minutiae of school life, you see more people coming and going in the mornings as they get ready. In particular, Dove, you notice a girl that you have not met. But Motiva has mentioned, as Motiva, you see Talisha, who is this sort of pink tiefling, this like long burgundy hair, very small curling horns coming from the forehead, wearing the uniform. But she, other things of note is that she has these sort of like delicate spectacles, and her tail kind of forks at the end. And you see she comes in to use one of the mirrors to sort of fix her hair and get everything ready before class. Another.
Oh,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
No, you
My
go
chief
ahead.
would say good morning.
Nice. You see Talisha kind of looks over at you, and then looks back at the mirror, and after a couple seconds, she also kind of mirrors a good morning. But shortly after that, she leaves to go off to do whatever she spends her morning doing. Another unfamiliar face that you guys would see is a figure that neither of you know. You technically would have seen this figure at the feast, but this is the first time you've actually had a chance to like see them up close. And you see Aurora walk in with another figure, who is this person has a willowy blue figure, their skin almost translucent in the light coming from the windows. But even inside of their body, you can see floating, shimmering lights. Their hair is short and floats beautifully around their head with no distinct line between hair and skin. And they are sort of wrapped in what is sort of... You can tell it was inspired by the uniform that you all are wearing, but it sort of is has this long A-line skirt to it, and the top is more of a gauzy blouse. And it is so far the most different of a uniform you've seen.
I remember this description now.
Yes.
I remember you.
Yeah, and they walk in with Aurora, and the blue figure is sort of chattering excitedly, and Aurora is kind of just bearing with it. If you also want a fun little tidbit, this is the person that Flynn was spending study hall with the past 2 days.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Devil smile at both of them and say good morning.
Good morning. Oh, hello. you?
Oh, my name is Dove. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've had the chance to really meet yet.
That's a lovely name.
Oh, thank you. May I ask what your name is?
I am Eleni.
Eleni?
Yes,
Oh, that's a lovely name yourself.
thank you. And she goes to look over at you, Motiva, and you see that they actually go to reach out and touch the green parts of your hair, and they say, "Your hair is very beautiful."
Oh.
Motiva like pulls away her eyeliner from her face and she says, "Oh, thank you. I did the dyeing myself.
It looks like
It's nice to meet
seaweed.
you." I've been told it's reminiscent to moss, actually. Hearing seaweed is a lot more refreshing. She smiles and she says, "My name is Motiva."
It's nice to meet you, Motiva.
Oh. Motiva's gonna like actually look at them and say, "Oh, you're beautiful, like an undine."
Thank you. I'm very similar. I'm a Nereid.
Oh, Motiva
Ooh.
will clap her hands and say, "I know the Nereids."
You see, they go to kind of give a twirl, and you can see as they move, the lights inside of their body actively moves, kind of like
Oh my God.
bioluminescence in
Oh.
water. Uh, and they say, "Thank you."
That's
Uh,
beautiful.
where are you from?
I am of Ketaphos in the Siren Sea.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. People keep telling me they don't know where that is. My home is called Theros.
I found you!
You.
Me gripping the little blue bastard.
you grip them and they just smile.
Motiva smiles and says, "Oh, that's lovely. I love what you did with the uniform."
Thank you. I went to a person on Prismari for it, under Flynn's recommendation. She was very kind.
Motiva will also look over and say, "Good morning, Aurora."
You see Aurora kind of finally look up to you guys as she kind of started going and meticulously also doing her makeup in a similar style to you. And she goes to cap her eyeliner and nods and kind of flips her hair a little bit and says, "Hello, Motiva."
Good morning.
Good morning, Dove.
I had a question for you after class, if that's okay.
You see her kind of look at you and says, "Okay, you can
Oh,
find me if you like."
I could ask now if you'd like, though. It's about your music.
Oh, what did you want to know about my music?
Well, I noticed that you play very sorrow-filled songs, yes?
Yes, I try to really capture that sort of essence in my writing.
I appreciate it a lot. My music is wrapped around in a lot of dark themes and such, but I also noticed how you managed to make the song so loud without making it too abrasive to the ears. It resonates in your gut, but you still don't make it ear piercing. I find it fascinating and I wanted to ask your technique.
You see, as you're sort of talking, there's sort of like a slow morphing of expression on her face, and I want you to roll me an insight, Motiva.
I
She's
love
gonna
this
be your best
little.
friend.
Oh, where is it? Oh, I forgot my insight is decent. Never mind.
No, it's okay. That's not bad. 11 is still passing for this. Um, you see as her face kind of moves, that she's trying. You can tell that she's like getting excited, but trying to definitely not come off as excited. And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, I can talk to you about like technique and stuff, and I can show you some pointers. I'd like to hear like what you can do, too, and we can see if we can, you know, figure something out."
I would love to collaborate with you. Motiva, like, puts up her hair and she says, I will warn you though, my music, while known for being very dark and soul piercing, is rather loud. So if you have sensitive ears, I'd like to know now.
No, that's fine. You know, I'm sure it's cool. So.
Oh, I'm sure if you two play together at the tavern in the evenings, you both would bring in a lot of coin. I heard Motiva play before and it was wonderful. Her instrument is very exciting as well, just like yours.
Yeah.
It's called a warlock guitar. That's the head of it anyway. I also have a triple head for the string chord.
You see her mumble something, and she says, "Yeah, we can meet up after class."
What does she mumble?
Roll me a perception.
And I also.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
Fuck me. 8.
Motiva, because you're closer, you can make this out, but Dev, you're just a little bit too far away. But Motiva, you hear her kind of mumble, "Fuck, that sounds cool."
Motiva just nods and says, I also have a piano if you think it would suit hurdy-gurdy more. It has a different range of sounds too, so it would match up better if we changed the library catalog. I can also make it sound like meowing cats. Motiva just starts putting on her eyeshadow.
You see that Aurora starts turning away and going to put on her lipstick, but before she says, yeah, no, I think that can work. Like, we can use some for some sounds and different ones for others. I'm versatile. I can, yeah. And as you notice, because both of you are putting on makeup at the same time, and Dove, if you're also like looking in the mirror putting on makeup, you can actually see as Aurora goes to put on her red lipstick that her teeth are sharp.
Keith.
Ooh. 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 Like canine sharp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharp.
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 Yeah, that's all you notice as you kind of go to put makeup on.
Oh, can Motiva see this?
The teeths?
Yes.
Yeah, you were the first one to notice.
Motiva's gonna look and she's gonna say, Aurora, do you have mods?
Yeah. Don't you?
Motiva.
She's very obviously lying. She
Motiva.
doesn't know what you're saying.
She just wants to be cool to you.
Motiva, just, oh my fucking god, Aurora, no!
You really don't have to try that hard to impress Motiva, my dear. It's okay.
You've fallen into my trap card, which is Aurora isn't cool.
No, she is cool. Shut the fuck up. Motiva will shake her head and say like, "Oh no, I meant like your teeth."
Oh, no, those are natural.
Oh, that's so cool.
Were you a
Thanks.
vampire?
I have vampiric ancestry. Yes,
Really? That's
am-
amazing.
I am a supernatural creature known as a Damphir. If you must know.
Ooh, those are only written in religious texts where I'm from.
Oh, I've never
Yes.
gotten to meet a Dampier before. I had a friend who was into a religion that had to do with undead and the like, but I've never gotten to meet one for myself.
Yes, it's very rare and tragic.
Oh, a tragic tale?
Yes. I can't take this seriously. I'm sorry. I tried so hard.
Can Dev just insight the fact that she's a Dampier just real quick? Just
Yeah,
real
go ahead
quick.
and insight.
Okay.
Aurora!
I I love
Damn
the
it.
comment that's like us petting the god
That
cat.
one, that's so unfair. I know she's lying.
This is very cool, and you know for a fact that when you go home, a certain someone you know will be very excited to hear that you know an honest to God Damphir.
Matifa's gonna pop her lips with her lipstick. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
Dev will just smile and say, well, if it's not too much to ask, I would love to hear it after class today, maybe?
I'm sorry, elaborate. Hear the music or hear her story?
Her tragic tale.
Yes, she kind of shrugs, giving off nonchalance as she also goes to put on her eyeshadow and make sure that her hair is straight, and says, yeah, you both can find me after class. I'll be around.
This was eye-opening. I didn't know.
Isn't there another person? There's 4 people. We've met 1, 2, 3.
Well, you... Oh, actually, I think you're the only person who hasn't met Nefei, right, Motiva?
Who the fuck is Nefei?
Oh, okay, cool. We're gonna talk about Nefei. So Nefei also comes in eventually. Something very fun about this, though, as you're watching and talking to Aurora, putting on her makeup, Eleni is just there, not really talking, just like listening to you guys talk and just like smiling, like she's just likes to be included.
Motiva.
Brain cells love her.
Motiva's gonna offer her black lipstick, and do you want to try it on?
Oh yes, if you would allow me to.
Here, let me try. Motiva's going to apply lippy sticky.
Nice. Right before you do it, they kind of go to gush and say, "Oh, I've never worn cosmetics before."
I think they make me feel rather pretty. I also just feel naked without it. So be careful. It's a powerful thing.
I have a fun question for you, Motiva. Is this like a cream? Is it like a matte? Is it a liquid? Is it like a stick?
'Tis a liquid matte.
A liquid matte, delicious. Okay, cool. You see after you put it on, that it looks cute. But you see that Eleni has to keep particular care to not smear it, because as you sort of like have to casually touch Eleni to apply this, Eleni is damp. But it looks cute.
Motiva's gonna bust out her definitely like wet-proof eyeliner. She's gonna say, Eleni, can I try something?
Sure.
I'm gonna give her cat eye.
Nice. You do it. Again, it's a very volatile surface to work with, but I'll say that you can manage it.
Motiva's gonna like. She's gonna do like the pose, like the thinking pose. She's a thinker, and I'm so happy that I have waterproof makeup.
Is it not
Motiva.
normally waterproof?
Oh, well, most makeup is actually very anti-water, but because of my job, I usually end up sweating a lot, so I have to wear waterproof makeup. Otherwise, I'll just sweat it off, which can kind of be cool for the look, but most of the time it's not.
That's amazing. And you see that they go to kind of clap their hands. And hold on, because I have to introduce Nefei. If you don't know, Sarah, I'm introducing all of the first-year NPCs that the other two haven't met yet. Because there's just a bunch of characters that you guys haven't met yet, so I figured at least on your floor I would introduce everybody. So Nefei comes in, but doesn't actually stay for long because she kind of just comes in to sort of get her hair and her beard situated for Dove, who's here. But Motiva, you see, in walks in a very short and stout woman. I will just tell you as Ash, this is like dwarf proportions. And also sort of dressed in the uniform, but again, sort of like electing to make it lighter and less layers of fabric, and short sleeves. She has this sort of like beautiful copper skin and like dark eyes. She has a very healthy auburn beard that's sort of brushed and braided with golden beads that also decorate a loose ponytail and how she wears her hair.
Dove will smile and say, "Oh, good morning, Nefei."
Good morning. Another day, another class.
Motiva's going to look over and say, "Oh, are you the famous Nefei?"
I am. I see my name has gone far.
Oh, yes. I think Dove told me that you like stories.
I do. I love stories and guests. And who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Motiva will give a deep bow and she says, "My name is Motiva, Motivation, if you want my full name."
Well, it's nice to meet you, Motiva. I am Nefei of Clan Bandari, and it's nice to meet you. And you see that she kind of goes to point between you, Motiva, and Dove and say, roommates, I suspect?
Yes.
Yes.
The friend I need to keep me from getting into trouble. As she fucking puts away her makeup.
Oh, those are priceless, my friend. Keep that one close, then.
Motiva is going to look to Dove and say, "It is food time. You must please Quintilius."
I love the way you said that.
If Desmond doesn't say anything for long enough, Motiva just looks over and says, if you're jealous about the lipstick, I can also put lipstick and eyeliner on you."
I think I will pass for today, but thank you.
Dove said no to gothification.
It's your flaw.
I can apply. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you say your thing first.
When I feel like it, I could very easily do up a whole look just for you.
Kinky.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick, so I'm gonna pause really quick. But I'll be right back.
Fuck yeah.
And we're back. We have successfully gotten ready. We have accepted gothification into our hearts. We've met all of the other people that we haven't said hi to yet that are first years. And are you guys going to get coffee and a snack before class, or are you just going to go to class? Because you can always get food afterwards. You know, what are you feeling? What are you vibing?
I think Dove will still go to the cafe, just to get like some food, some tea.
Yeah.
Stop by and chat with Quintilius.
I think Motiva will stalk over Dove.
Yeah, you're gonna come over to talk to Quintilius' Dove?
Checks my watch. I'm just hanging out with a friend while they say hi to another friend.
Okay, that's completely fair. So you go up to the Fire Joel Cafe. I'm gonna change the music again.
Motiva mentioned that I think she was thinking about joining. I think she mentioned that she was going to join the Dead Language Society.
Yes,
no?
she
Okay.
did say that in front of Cataris, yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you go on up to the Fire Joel Cafe. You are greeted with, again, a busy sight. You see Miss Mina behind the counter making drinks. Quintilius is in his normal spot over by the fire in the back room. What do y'all get?
Oh, I have to pull up the thing.
Yeah,
Nature's
sorry.
Bounty.
Nature's Bounty.
And water.
And
water.
I like imagining Mina with that thick Brooklyn accent.
Oh my god, she'd be really good with the Brooklyn accent.
I will get the Rise and Shine again. And I will get Oh god. What do I want? I will get the cherry bread again.
The cherry bread.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. You can definitely do that. Please give me your 1 CP, and Motiva, you get free water.
Water.
CP given.
Yeah.
And Dove smiles to Mina.
Nice.
Yeah.
You go up and you order, and she gives you a smile and gives you a very warm good morning. And you guys sort of chat a little bit as she kind of like checks you out and makes your drinks. Just because now she like has a name to a face. She's talked to you guys before. And she bids you a good morning and a wave as you get your things, and you can go sit down wherever you'd like.
So so you're clearly like following Dove, right?
Yeah, Motiva's not going. Okay, so the thing is that Motiva doesn't know that Dove is not harassing, is saying good morning to Quintilius in the morning. So I like to imagine Motiva just talking Dove's ear off about the makeup brand she used. It's just like, yeah, it's like this waterproof eyeliner, and she's like just talking about it and following Dove.
Yeah, and so Dove goes to sit down in that couch right next to Quintilius, so there's plenty of room for Motiva to also sit down. And kind of waiting for like a good time to like not interrupt Motiva, Dove will just glance over, give another smile, and just say, "Good morning, Quintilius."
Quintilius looks up from his book and gives you a warm smile and says, "Well, good morning, Dove. I hope it finds you well."
Oh, yes, it does. Thank you. I don't know if you've met her as of yet, but this is actually my roommate, Motiva. I believe she was actually interested in joining the Dead Languages Society.
Oh, yes, I heard a bit about that from Drasimir. And he kind of looks at you, and he kind of looks you up and down, and he says, I think I saw you on the first day.
Yes. Motiva will wave and say, "Hello, Quintilius. My name is Motiva."
He goes to nod with sort of a smile and says, "Well, it's lovely to meet you. I'm sure Drasimir will be delighted that will be more people in the club."
Yeah, I'll have to talk to him about something if I join the club, but otherwise, I would love to join.
Talk to him about... Is there a complication? A worry?
Motiva will fiddle with her hands and she'll say, "Well, the thing is that I don't come alone as a person."
As she's talking, can Dove, if she's okay with it, can Dove put like a hand on her shoulder, like reassuringly? Is that okay?
Sure. Motiva will let you.
Yeah, as you say that, you see him kind of give a laugh, and he says, "Excuse me, what?"
Motiva will kind of like this. My family has a bit of an issue with ghosts and spirits, so they usually like to follow me, and I have a family ghost that she likes to pop up, and I needed to make sure that it's okay with Drasimir.
Oh, how very Lorehold. And you see he kind of goes to look back at his book, and he says, "Well, that's fine. We have members that are Lorehold, and they bring their spirit mentors to the club. It shouldn't be an issue."
Excuse me, wait, what?
Oh, have you not met any of the spirit mentors just yet?
No!
Well, have you heard yet that Lorehold's mascot are spirits?
No.
Well, the Lorehold College's mascot are spirits that they specifically contact from beyond the grave for their historical knowledge. And a spirit mentor is whenever a student has called back a spirit, put them into a statue or some other such inanimate object, and then carry them around with them so that they can speak to them. A
Oh, I
spirit
can't
mentor.
speak to her.
Well, it seems she's a bad spirit mentor.
She's not a mentor. She's a curse upon my family. A generational curse, you could say.
Mativa didn't come from this world.
Spirits are all the same.
Cornelius, don't start this, please. I'm begging you.
I hear you laughing.
I'm sorry. It's fun.
I'm trying to introduce my two friends to each other, please.
I really like the picture you sent in, Sarah. I hope everybody likes that piece of information about Laura
Oh my
Holtz.
god.
Motiva nods and says, "Yeah, Rosie didn't seem all that shocked by it, so I think it will go over decently, but she does tend to scare people and make a room a bit chilly, so."
Was Fedlums?
Yes.
Huh.
Motiva is just going to start eating.
It's okay. Cornelius goes back to his book and starts drinking his coffee. And then he kind of goes and looks very suddenly. Oh, so Dove. So about our club meeting later.
Oh my god. Dove just looks over with a smile and goes, oh yes, what about it?
Yes. So if you like, I can actually come and pick you up after class, and I can show you where we'll be meeting up for extracurriculars today.
Oh, Motiva, would that be alright? I know that we had plans later this evening.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be a good time to talk to Aurora about my music anyway. She's just gonna sip.
Yeah, Dove will nod and smile and say, that sounds perfect.
Wonderful.
Do I need to tell you my room number?
Oh no, it's the same room for orientation every year. I quite remember it from my first year.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yes, the positives of the first year uniform. It's very easy to spot where any of you are.
There's nothing wrong with it exactly, but I am looking forward to a bit more color.
The freedom
You could
is nice.
forcefully do that. I want to imagine Motiva says it like that too. You could forcefully do that, choking on water. Nim did bring up the, you know.
If you think you can get away with it, by all means, but you're not supposed to.
Oh, what about you? I bet you knew that you were going to be Prismari immediately. Did you hide anything like that?
I did know where I was going, but I felt like I didn't need to come off like a tryhard.
I hate this man.
I did not. I'm so delighted. I've been so curious, and it went as awkward as I hoped it would be. I like how he's just like, Dove's roommate, cool. Anyway, so Dove, and Dove was like, oh no.
He's a bastard.
Motiva's actually gonna perk up and she's gonna say, Quintilius, I had a question about the arts in Arcavios.
Yes.
Is there operatic arts here?
Oh, yes, there are a good number of operatic performers, I believe, on Silverquill. Generally things revolving around the voice performances. You learn a lot about on Silverquill campus, or in Silverquill classes.
Maybe I'll ask Rubina about that then. She seems knowledgeable about music.
Oh, yes, actually, she is a conductor. She would be a wonderful person to contact about musical training.
Oh, I'm already a master of opera.
Really?
Yes, I was involved in musical theater and other musical arts at home. It was a job.
Oh, how quaint.
I hate him!
Motiva, I had no idea. That sounds wonderful.
Motiva nods and says, yes, I was known as the Arya of my school.
Oh, I had nothing near as professional as that.
Yes, I already went to an art school, so I probably won't be wasting my time with Prismari, but I think it would be nice to
Oh.
experience more time with the arts.
This is a feud happening in real time.
Of making a quick mental note to keep them separated.
You see, Quintilius kind of smiles and he says, "Oh, by all means, if you want to go to Silverquill, I'm sure they'll be happy to have you."
I'm trying to feel if that's a diss or not.
Do you want to insight it?
Yes.
ahead.
Absolutely is.
Please
Please.
He
separate.
doesn't
Bring
like
him.
Silverquill. He doesn't like that one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's like it's like in a pitying way.
Dove quickly goes to kind of smiling, clear his throat as he looks at Motiva, and he just goes, "Well, I mean, we are still so new here. We don't know everything about all the campuses just yet." And they kind of just stare at her.
Motiva's gonna shake her hand and say, "No, I wasn't looking to go into Silverquill. I don't get along with performers very well. My art is a bit above them, I guess. That's what teachers like to say anyway."
How interesting. Takes a drink.
She nods and she says, "Yes, it's a bit new compared to other things."
Ah, avant-garde. I understand.
Fucking kills me.
You were losing points. I can feel the point drain happening as we speak.
She smiles and says, "I was looking more to go into Witherbloom so I could help my friend get bottom surgery."
You see him
Yeah.
go to nod, and he says, "Well, I think that's commendable."
Insight,
Go ahead and roll insight.
bitch.
God.
Fuck.
That's the first nice thing he said to you today.
Motiva just shakes her head and she just says, "No, it's more like a crime considering how hard it is to get a hold of where I'm from." She shakes her head and she says, "If there's something I've appreciated, it's definitely being told that it won't cost my guts to get medical attention."
You also have that problem where you come from.
Oh, yes, it's delightful.
There's oh, it's far too difficult to get into at the moment, but most of the healing comes from a rather large family, shall we say, and they love to overcharge for the services.
Do they have a monopoly on it?
Yes.
You should talk to Chad about that. He has something similar where he's from. Motiva actually perks up and she looks to Quintilius. "Have you thought about interviewing some of the other planeswalkers for stories from their planes? It would be a good way to find new stories."
I suppose that is an option, though I could just as easily check them out from the Biblioplex.
Oh, yes, but I feel like a person's insight on what's good and well renowned is valuable, you know?
You see, he kind of looks at you, and he kind of gives you a long look, and he says, "That's good advice. Maybe I'll take it."
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
He seems to mean it, and he kind of goes on to say, maybe one of these days I'll take a walk around the dorm talk to you and your friends.
Oh, you should start with Dove. Dove is already involved in acting and such. I'm sure that he knows a lot.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Please, ladies, don't fight over me.
Has he shown you his changeling ability then?
He has.
He's been rather flippant with showing it off then.
I think it's definitely a thing to brag about.
Oh, absolutely. If I could do that, I'd do it in a heartbeat. She puts a hand on Dove. No offense.
None taken, really. I realize it's a bit flashy when showing it off to other people, but it's something that I've had since I was a child, so I suppose I'm just rather used to it.
Darling, don't undersell it. Yeah?
I won't do it. I have self-control. I'm not an animal. I do
my
not want
God.
drama.
But if it's funny, you should put it in chat.
This is not being said in character. I was going to make Motiva perk up and say, and that's why you should join the LARPing club.
That'd have been funny.
But Motiva will nod and say, it looked really cool whenever you were doing it with Cad. I can't imagine it. Well, whenever you transformed into Rosie, it was a little bit funny to see your clothes falling off. You were so small.
Oh, yes, unlike actual illusion spells, the clothes don't change with me, so that is the one downside of it, I suppose.
I don't know. I think it's kind of charming. And she's gonna sip her drink.
Oh, thank you. But I was actually just at the Biblioplex the other day, and I found some books from Eberron, and I was pleasantly surprised to see they had quite a number of plays there as well.
Motiva's gonna look over and she's going to smile at Dove and she's going to say, would you like to see some of the plays from my home?
Oh, yes, I adore plays.
Motiva's going to smile and say, I like to think that while I know a lot of classical plays, I think I know some modern ones that are a bit more fun and less dry.
Yes, that one that I read the other day from Ashawn, it was fine, but I mean, you read it. It was a bit unfinished.
It felt more like a hero's tale. Maybe there's another part to it that's finished, or it was told orally.
Oh, maybe there's like a missing page within the Biblioplex somewhere.
Oh,
What play are you
I
talking
can
about?
believe it.
Oh, it was a book called Curious Tale of Wisteria Vale. My roommate actually, he found it in the Biblioplex the other day and wanted me to read through it to see if there was anything interesting. It was a little bit of a letdown, if I'm being honest.
The idea of an unfinished play sounds, while not good on a technical level, it does at least sound interesting. Maybe I'll look into it.
Yes, he made it sound as though it might be very special in a way. He said that he found it in a certain area of the Biblioplex that might lend itself to being special, but I'm not sure what about it would be different.
Oh, understandable. I can inquire with Isabeau if I need to find anything about it.
Who?
Isabeau, the librarian.
Oh, I never caught his name.
She's a treant.
Oh, I was thinking of somebody else then. She sips her drink.
Quintilia sips his drink.
I feel like I am caught in between crossfire at the moment. I am sitting in between both of you.
Yeah,
You're
quite
sitting
literally.
between a classic theater major and a musical theater major, and they're both just equally as awful. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah. This feud runs deep.
Dev is trying to patch it up as best they can, but it's not working.
Motiva's actually gonna pick up her head and says, Dove,
Yes.
I actually wanted to ask if I could read the book you were reading yesterday.
Panini, what was the title of it again?
Oh fuck. I think it was. Hold on. I know what one of the
Sorry.
words is. I know what one of the words is. I can find it. Oh, hold on. Fields of Jewels.
That's right. Okay, let me pull it up just so I have it on hand here. Oh, the romance novel that I was reading?
Yes.
Sorry, what was the question? You were asking to read it?
Yes.
Oh, I can lend it to you if you'd like. It was it was a romance novel, but there was some definite smut, I suppose, to it as well. If you would be interested in something like that. But it is a book also from Eberron.
Motiva actually perks up and says, the book that I got from the Biblioplex is from my home too, and it's about just as classy as that. You can read mine too.
Sorry. Dev just smiles and says, "Well, I can't say that I wouldn't be uninterested. It's just a bit fun to read those kinds of books."
We're in a stressful college situation. We're allowed to do what we please.
It's a very quaint book, though. It's about actually someone from Sean, a big city business kind of person, going on a forced vacation and staying in a loft above an Ondarian vineyard worker's home, and they both learn to open up. It's very quaint. Oh, you don't know where Ondare is. I can explain it to you as you're reading. It won't be very accurate.
Whenever you read my book, I'm sure there's words that you won't understand either. I'll make sure to tell you.
Hey,
Oh, I
Motiva,
love that.
what was the title of your book again? I told you about it, but I don't have it written down anywhere.
It's A Rogue by Any Other Name.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting it. That's a real book.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now, the wiki page.
Yeah, I'm also on the wiki page.
Dev will actually look over to Quintilius and smile and say, "So have you been reading anything as interesting lately?"
Oh, are you asking me?
Asking Quintilius, yeah.
Yes.
And there's a bit of like a playful smile because they're on the topic of that. Like, I know the last time they talked, he was reading a book, but they're just being a bit teasing about it because topic of smut romance.
Yeah, like a better one. Okay, hold on. Let me pick out one.
I also like how Motiva earlier was like, "I don't get along with performers very well," and is over here like besties with Dove. You're a liar and a scoundrel.
She wants to fight.
They sat down next to each other and were just like, he's mine actually. He's my emotional support changeling, so back off."
This is my emotional support changeling, and I'm going to cut you in half. I don't want to imagine what the relationship chart is going to look like.
Go ahead.
Now, here is the question that I must ask you before I give you my answer. Are you wanting literature that is actually of a that I'm recommending you, or do you also want
what he calls smut will determine how Motiva will feel about him for the rest of this goddamn game.
Well, see, the hilariousness of it is, he's basically asking if you want something, like legitimately good that he would recommend, or do you want something, a bit more of Arcavios' version of trashy body literature?
Dove just kind of smiles and says,
It's a
As
spectrum,
much as
you see.
yes, as much as I would have fun reading the worst of the worst, if you had anything that you might recommend would be a better read, I would appreciate that as well.
Ashan only recommended nonfiction to me when I asked, so I'd like to hear some ideas too.
Well, if you want to know, the most popular romance novel that we have to offer, there is a novel by the name of Lucina and Lola. It's actually popular enough that it got a reprint with an extended edition a couple years back. But one that I've read that I could recommend. I quite enjoyed a novel by the name of Gabrielle's Gaze. I think it is classy enough to be enjoyable in a more technical sense.
Of course, of course. Well, I'll definitely be sure to check that out eventually. I'm still not quite used to the idea that every book in existence is within that library.
It's definitely something to get used to, but it's an amenity that I feel like comes a bit more naturally the more you take advantage of it.
Do you have anything else you want to say to Mr. Quintilius?
No.
Then we can end the interaction there if you like. I hope you like my terrible man.
I like him. Motiva wants him to lose his hair gel.
He is very rude. He's a rude man. He's very pretentious.
As they stand up to go, though, Deb will just smile and say, well, I'll see you after class today then, Quintilius.
Of course.
It was nice to finally meet you after hearing about you. Have a good day.
I think that Quintilius gives you a bit of a smile and say, I find it simply fascinating to hear that they've been talking about me, but it was nice to meet you as well.
Motiva smiles and puts a hand up to her mouth and she says, "Oh, Deb doesn't stop talking about you."
Motiva, stop.
Really? No,
Yes,
Motiva,
but that's
feel
the-
free to keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it's a first year thing. You just won't get it anymore. Interplanetary planeswalker code. I can't reveal secrets.
Deb rolls their eyes.
Well, have a good day in class.
Say goodbye, Dove.
I already did.
Say it again. He'd probably like it.
Jesus Christ.
Drag him through filth.
Deb just smiles and waves.
And Quintilius nods and goes back to his book, and you can go to class now.
If you get to tease me in front of him, I can tease you in front of Quintilius. And she's gonna fucking run.
Oh, Motiva, you said that you didn't get along with performers earlier, but I thought we had been getting along just fine.
Oh, I just say that to other theater people. It makes it easier whenever they can't stand me.
I like to imagine Motiva and Dub just sitting and talking about that interaction in the morning.
I love that though. As you guys make your way up to the Biblioplex for your class, it's the same as it was the past couple days, where you go to the same room with the same people. You sort of get situated, and you sort of chit chat and wait for the next round of professors to arrive. The first figure that you notice come through the door is a regal and elegant figure. Shimmering blue skin dazzles and amazes, from pointed ears to head free of hair and smiling, painted red lips. Her appearance is only exemplified by her dress, a layered gown of blue, white, and red, decorated with actual clouds. I'm gonna give you the picture.
Ooh.
Shit.
Oh, Prismari.
Fucking weird.
Yeah. And by the time she slowly reaches the front of the class, you all notice the arcane etchings crawling across the lecture room floor. As soon as they connect into a circle, in a puff of mist and smoke, you see a new figure emerge. A squat, round owlin dressed in regal robes of blue, white, and gold. He wears a monocle with feathers on his face reminiscent of a mustache. And they exchange small talk for a bit before they turn to the class. Let me get this picture.
More owls!
More owls! There's many owls here. He looks like this. He's got a mustache.
My
Oh,
God.
he's lovely.
Oh. Quandrix.
Bird.
Quandrix. Math bird.
Is a math bird. As they sort of exchange small talk for a bit and you all settle down, you hear a voice call out, "Hello, students. I personally welcome you to Strixhaven University. I am Uvilda Mistcoiler, Dean of Perfection of Prismari Campus." The blue figure, you now know being named Uvilda, gives a gracious nod of her head before indicating the owlin behind her, who seems to have already started scribbling something on the board in the back wall. Complex equations flit across even as Uvilda introduces him. Assisting the lecture is my friend, the Dean of Theory of Quandrix. Ibrahim, say hello to the class. The only response you all hear from the scribbling owlin is a small "yes, hello." Does not turn to you guys. And Uvilda sort of gives a sigh, but her smile doesn't move as she turns to you and says, "Right, well, let's get started." You see, with a wave of her hand, she sort of conjures floating words made of floating droplets of water, artistically held to create almost a calligraphic sort of writing. And it says 5 words: knowledge, deceit, caution, deliberation, and perfection. And she goes to speak up, and she says, blue is one of the 5 colors of mana. On the color pie, it is allied with white and black, and is the enemy of red and green. The mana symbol for blue is a drop of water, as it is drawn from islands, and it embodies the concept of logic and seeks perfection through knowledge. You see, blue is the color that wants perfection and looks on the world and sees opportunity to achieve that. Figuring out what you could achieve with the right education, experience, and tools. For blue, life is one of constant discovery as you seek to better yourself. This way of living requires the right attitude. You have to be open to possibilities, but also not too hasty in action. It is a color of methodical and exact recognition that there are many forces, even some that come from within. It is better to think one's options out carefully and select correctly than to rush to a decision. Implicitly, in that general worldview, blue believes in tabula rasa. Every one of us is born a blank slate with the potential to become anything. One need only understand how to make that change. You finally hear the Owlin at the chalkboard go to speak up. Moreover, Blue decides that it must understand everything, for truly understanding can only improve one's effectiveness in any task. To gain understanding, Blue must acquire knowledge. Since knowledge itself will inform every other decision, Blue forms its principal goal: omniscience, the knowledge of all. Some would say an impossible task, but a goal doesn't have to be possible for it to be a goal. You see, at the interruption, Uvilda goes to kind of carefully sigh again and speak up and says, Blue's philosophy, like that of any color, is determined by its worldview. To Blue, the world is an opportunity. Within it hide wonders and possibilities most fantastic, the stuff of dreams. Blue is characterized by the desire to know the world's secrets and to make those possibilities real. The belief that dream can be a reality, to which Blue holds fast, is the belief in tabula rasa, the blank slate. Blue believes that all things begin existence blank, without destiny or purpose. This is contrasted with Green's belief that one's life is predetermined, say, by natural ability. Rather, Blue believes the essence of a thing is given to it, that it is shaped by the storms and eddies of its own existence. Those with knowledge and willpower are masters of this, shaping and changing things at will. To them, this essence is as malleable as clay. You see Ibrahim goes to finish his equation spanning the entire length, corner to corner, of this chalkboard, and he turns around and he says, mastery of possibility, mastery of essence is exactly what Blue pursues. Thus, Blue comes to prioritize knowledge. It is with this knowledge that Blue will unlock great possibilities and changes itself for the better. With all knowledge, omniscience, Blue can make itself perfect. That is the color philosophy that drives blue mana and its use. You see Ibrahim go to look at the class and look at the board and point and say, your assignment today is to solve this equation. And tell me how you do it.
Oh no.
Don't worry, Flynn, you don't have to do this right now, but the other two do. And you
What kind of
see,
fucking equation is this?
as everyone in this room has the same reaction as you all, kind of slack-jawed, looking around at each other, at the teachers, at the board, and Vilda looks around and says, "Actually, I think that's a great idea. I would love I would love to hear how each and every one of you would go about trying to solve a problem that you think is impossible." What would you do when put in front of something that you think cannot be solved? I love you, Flynn. You're such a nerd. I'm glad you like blue.
Motiva and Dove sobbing, pissing, and crying.
Oh my
Flynn
god.
first in
Okay.
line.
Okay, Motiva has been recording this, like recording the
Yeah.
professors, yeah?
Yeah.
Motiva's going to grab Dove, Fletcher, and River.
Nice. So this is also when I wanted to introduce to you guys. Study hall technically can be the entire time you take to solve your assignment. Your assignment doesn't have to be done instantly. So you can get up and talk to people while you're trying to figure this out. So you grab those three.
Motiva's gonna look around. Is there any other bitch that just looks absolutely fucked?
Elaney, once again, looks like they are not having a thought in their head, not writing
Oh,
anything
no.
down, just smiling into space.
No.
Motiva's gonna grab.
Okay, I think that those are probably the people that are gonna have the most difficulty with this. Some other
Chad?
people look confused, but like people are writing things down.
Wait, hold up. I need to pause really quick. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for you really quick. Okay, we're back. What was your thing?
How does River and Fletcher look?
I want you to know that like River looks like a little bit rattled and like looking to you two and hoping you guys know what the fuck to do. Fletcher looks like his soul has left his body.
Oh no.
Baby boy.
Motiva's gonna pat both of them. She's gonna like pat them on the shoulder and say, no, 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 no. You need to stay in this fucking world. Come on.
I'm trying.
All right, we'll figure it out. I know equations from alchemy and the like. Motiva, do you have any?
I've mentioned this before, but where I was from, there's no magic, so everything is only math. So I will understand math and equations, and I also understand glyphs, runes, and sigils. And Motiva will pull up her phone, and she's going to say, I've recorded everything so we can gain insight based on how the teacher did everything.
Nice. Okay, that's a good idea. We can listen to it. And River's like, yeah, we got this. And Elaine's like, yeah.
Eleni, did you have any questions at all? I've been trying to help where I can as well, and I understand if it's a bit much to follow with.
And you see that they kind of put a finger on their mouth and kind of look up like they're thinking. And they say, well, what the teachers were saying wasn't confusing. I'm just not too sure about what's on the board.
Very fair. Also, my education doesn't quite go up that high either.
And as you guys are sort of like chit-chatting around in a circle, you guys hear someone walk up and say, hey guys, what you doing? And it's Chad.
Hi, bestie. Motiva's gonna point. Any insight on that? Oh, Lord of Color.
You see he looks at it and immediately looks away and nope, not a thing.
Well, great.
Motiva's gonna pull out her phone and she's going to full screen, put it to the side, put it in front of everybody, and she's going to put it on media player ×2 so people can watch the like whiteboard be filled in speed.
Oh, that's super smart.
I was also thinking, I don't know if this would really be the true answer or anything, because I don't know if it would be a trick question, but based on how the Dean of Prismari commented at the end, it almost makes me think that the assignment might be similar to the ones from the previous day. Though this one seems a bit more literal in assignment, so I'm not sure.
You see, Chad goes to kind of nod and like scratch his head and say, I mean, yeah, Blue is like kind of. And he kind of like waves his hand back and forth in like a hand gesture and is like, you know?
Um, Not exactly. I don't come from a world where the colors play a large part.
Do you mean like
Well,
flowy?
well, yeah, like kind of like. I guess it's like. Yeah, maybe we don't like know the equation that's on the thing, but like maybe they want us to like figure out like a pathway to figuring it out.
Oh,
I don't know.
even if we
Blue's a
can't
little bit
find the correct
complicated to
answer?
me. Oh, what'd you say, Dev? I'm sorry.
Oh, Dove was like, oh, well, I get it, like figuring out a way to solve it even if we can't find the correct answer.
Yeah, like maybe they're just trying to see like how we think about it and stuff. Maybe.
And we're gonna get it done. Motiva looks to Chad. She says, "Will you sit with us for strength?"
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll help you out.
It's nice to
I'm
see you again, by the way.
Yeah, it's cool to talk to you too. I can help you out. I'm the color guy.
The
I
color
know
guy.
the colors.
Do
He's
you?
also the sport guy.
I am also the sport guy.
I know many sport people since coming here, actually.
Honestly, very cool. I thought this would just be a school full of nerds. No offense.
Oh, you must be so lucky to share a room with River then.
Yeah, River's cool, and you see like they both go to like not exactly fist bump, but they kind of like bump their forearms together. That's in a symbol that you think is supposed to be like a bro fist situation, you know?
They are already bros.
They are already bros.
Okay. What does this look like to us?
Hold on.
You don't have to have an actual equation, but
Yeah, no, 100%. I am trying to find it because I'm actually basing this off of a very specific thing. And I don't know if there's a visual of it, unfortunately.
But if there isn't, you can describe it very longly, and me and Mackenzie will try with our fat fucking cocks to get it right. If we hit enough times, we'll be right.
I'm not a smart man. But I'll try.
Okay, I'm going to try really hard to get an image, and if not, I'm just going to find an image.
Okay.
I have an idea that might help us though. But it has to be later.
I'm so mad that they don't have a visual on this fucking equation. Wizards, you have failed me for the last time. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because this looks kind of similar to how I'm envisioning it in my head, just if it was more rounded. Where it doesn't look like one solid line, it looks like an equation that bleeds into an equation that bleeds into an equation that bleeds into another one. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibe. That's the vibe.
Okay.
I
Making me sweat.
like actually me too.
Math. I am scared of math. I am a simple caveman.
Okay, Nativa's gonna fucking stand up. She's gonna walk up to the fucking board, and I'm going to roll intelligence.
Okay, cool. Roll intelligence for me, bestie.
Oh
Before
god.
you announce what the outcome is, I need to see the number just really quick because I might be able to do something.
Ooh, that's fun. Okay.
Okay. I think you're okay. I think you're good.
Okay, so you look at this equation and you stand in front of it and you see that neither of the teachers go to stop you. They don't stop any of this like free form talking, discussing, getting up, walking around, which is definitely a nice a move up from how teaching is where you're from, Motiva. And you go to stand in front of it and you look at it and you are trying to take your own college education and piecing apart this equation. And you kind of get the feeling that this is an ever increasing equation. You feel like every time you see another thing added onto it, it's in this sort of pattern that keeps getting bigger. And you see that the end of it on this chalkboard actually doesn't seem to be the end of an equation. You think that it could continue ongoing.
Can I try to continue it?
In your brain, I'll definitely say that
No,
but-
with chalk.
no, there's no more room.
Damn.
Yeah, it's the whole chalkboard, but there is still more that could be put.
Okay. Motiva's gonna. I want to mention, Motiva looks pissed. She looks absolutely infuriated, and she's going to. She's gonna look to the teachers. Do you have a tape?
Tape?
Sticky stuff
What do you
for the
need
wall.
to be stuck?
Paper.
Oh, do you want to stick something to the wall?
Yes.
I can do that for you.
Thank you.
Do you hand Uvilda a piece of paper to stick to the wall?
I just handed her my entire journal.
He's so pretty.
Well, yeah, she's really pretty.
Why do the deans for Prismari gotta be so pretty?
They
It's
are
all right.
really hot, both of them.
Still at school.
You see
I
that
like how-
Uvilda's kind of left with this book and goes to kind of like stick it to the wall, but it's like open, so there's like it's open so you can write on the book. But go ahead, sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I really love how the deans for Prismari are literally red and blue in color also.
Yes. I think if I told you what they were, you would be surprised.
I was actually going to make Motiva bring that up. Motiva was going to ask, are you the Nereid? Nayid?
Oh, no. I'm what's called a djinn.
Oh, I know what a djinn is. Surprising. That's cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
She's going to whistle to her besties.
The besties are rounded up.
Motiva's gonna look to them. She's gonna say, it's not done. But I can tell you how it works, and I want Motiva to explain explicitly how it works. I think she can kind of just sense that
A couple of these people don't know math.
Yeah. Fletcher and River out here like knowing I know what 2 + 2 is and that's it.
Yeah, Motiva's going to look it up and say, "You want to do teacher things?"
Yes.
Motiva's gonna pop up and say, "Okay, if I explain something and I don't explain it well enough, I need you to help me."
Okay, I will do my best.
Motiva's going to try and walk through how all of this works to them.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out how to get to the next step of the equation?
Yes, but I'm trying to specifically also tell them how the equation is like building up so that
Yeah.
they can actually make it feel less big.
Okay, yeah, I feel like you can definitely talk about that and then also show them an example of what the next segment of the equation should look like. I feel like you can manage to do that. I'm going to roll to see how they understand it, but I think you can definitely explain it in words that you would understand.
I'm trying to layman this fucking equation.
Okay, so I have a thing I would like to do
Yeah.
as like a way of Dove using like this is a bit more advanced because like they taught children, right? It's like
Yeah.
this is far more advanced than that. But like using the basics of being a teacher,
Yeah.
I would like to help kind of Motiva like walk it through in like a very like easy way to understand to the others.
Yeah.
And it will take me multiple turns to do so, but I would like to give each of them bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's a really cute. Yeah, you
I know
definitely
mechanically it
can.
doesn't matter because we don't know what they do, but I would like that. It would put my mind at ease for them.
Dude.
Yeah,
And I can't give myself bardic inspiration.
yeah, I definitely say that you can definitely do that and you can take the time to really like one-on-one explain it to them and kind of figure out what would be the best way to explain it to them, and you kind of really level with them on it and how, like, I feel like with Chad it's a bit easier to explain in mathematical terms because even though he's technically not like that smart, he comes from a world that has math, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to hi Sarah. You get to like River and Fletcher and you have to really like simplify it and connect with them on it, but you can definitely give them inspiration, and so I'll re-roll again.
Yeah. And then is it 4 people in total here because Eleni also?
Yes.
Okay, so I will mark off 4 bardic inspirations.
Delicious. And I will roll again for them and give them that inspiration.
At the d6.
Nice. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, cool. So something very interesting happens as you're sort of making this co-op together and explaining it to everybody that you kind of rounded up. Because Motiva explains it to you, Dove, and you get it. So you go to start helping explain it to the other 4. And as you're explaining it, you see that Chad's eyes like light up instantly, and he also pitches in to help explain it to the other 3. Because he grabbed it almost immediately. I want you to know he rolled over a 20 with that.
Whoa.
Very interesting, very cool. And through walking you all through it, you guys have all been able to figure out the theory behind being able to get to the next part of this equation as it keeps going up and getting bigger.
Motiva's going to slap on her composition notebook and she's going to say, "This is an entire page that you can dedicate to figuring this." She looks this stuff out. And she's going to point and she's going to say, "It's easier to do things whenever you don't have to look up from your notebook. So just use a piece of my paper and write. Write like you've never written before."
And you have a gaggle of people all figuring out this equation. That's delightful. Feel free to tell me whenever you guys get around to actually explaining your assignment to the teachers.
Oh God, I don't think they're gonna like a charisma roll, Mackenzie.
You don't know.
I know. That's the only thing I'm good at.
Fuck it. Mativa will present it, and she's gonna put the paper and she's going to put her phone on the table, and she's going to have it be explained that she figured out or try to understand the theory through memory from her phone, as flawless as it can be, showing her the way. Does that make sense?
Kind of. That's kind of explaining the tools you're using, and I would rather it be like a thesis of the actual way that you are trying to piece apart getting to the end.
Breaking it down into itty bitty bite-sized pieces.
There we go. That's great.
Great.
Give me the rule.
I will try to use intelligence.
You can use whichever one you'd like.
We're doing great, boys.
That's not bad. You hand over the paper and you see Ibrahim goes to like read it over, and he immediately goes to put it to the side and waits for the next one.
Damn, bitch!
It doesn't tell you if you pass or fail yet.
Damn!
It's okay.
Damn! Motifa fucking sits back down and she's actually sweating now.
Okay.
Let's see. So Dev will walk up and present their paper, and I'm not very good at like putting exactly what I wrote down or anything, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think Dev has a good argument for rolling with charisma because of how they worked through it by kind of working with other people through it.
Okay. I expect
so
that too.
they
That's cool.
figured, yeah. So they figured this out, kind of from the. Why is it getting so loud? Hold on. Sorry, the music is getting like really loud.
Oh, that's weird. I'm so sorry. It's really quiet on my
okay.
end, so that's surprising.
Go ahead.
But they basically use the blank slate approach as they do have previous knowledge, but nothing this advanced, and worked on that blank slate of learning the information and working from their previous knowledge they already had to further build upon that. And once they had that, they worked through their experience as a teacher to help perfect that in other people's minds by using different approaches of different levels of knowledge regarding the subject. And kind of teaching it helped solidify it better in their mind, and that's how they figured it out.
Yeah, I think that's really solid too. Give me your roll.
Yeah, it's just straight charisma, right? No
Yeah.
skill.
It is just the straight stat roll.
Us fucking sweating our guts out.
16.
Okay. You see,
Ooh.
Ibrahim also goes to take it and reads it over. And then when he's done, he puts it down again, just waiting for the next one. Again, not confirming or denying anything.
Yeah, Dev doesn't make a big show of it. Dev just goes to sit back down.
Yeah. And this is obviously where I would insert when Falin does it, but we'll do that later when we're hanging out with Falin. And something very interesting. Whenever he's done reading all the papers, he kind of puts them all down, and he kind of goes to address the class and says, none of you figured it out, but that is not surprising. If you come to any theory classes, we can pick up where we left off. Have a good day. And he immediately teleports out of the room. And you see Uvilda goes to put her hands together and gives a smile and says, thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you again in the coming years. And gives a bow and also exits the room.
I think Dev sits there in shock a little bit.
Whenever they're gone, like they leave, right? They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Motiva's just gonna let them go. What the fuck? And she's just gonna fucking stomp out.
Nice. Hold on 1 second that I think is really fun. Hold on 1 second.
God damn it.
They played us for fools.
Them loudly, if you wish to solve my riddle 3, join
I
my
only respect
class.
you if you'll do long equations.
Literally. I love the idea that you
That's
just go.
bullshit.
Do you talk to any of your friends about how that's fucking bullshit?
Who?
Any of you. I just think it's funny.
No, Motiva just literally screams out, what the fuck?
I want to mention, actually, it's not going to be in English. It's not going to be in Common. It's Finnish, but it's very obviously an explicitive.
Oh yeah, I love that so much. Dev, what are you doing? How you feeling?
Dove looks exasperated. And kind of just looks around to see what other people are feeling at that.
I feel like a lot of people are kind of like talking and confused, to varying degrees. I will say of note, something that's kind of funny is that Sean in like the back corner of the classroom looks almost amused by what happens. Like I feel like you look around to see how people reaction, and like Sean like seems like he just finished laughing at something. So I think that's interesting.
I point at him.
Yeah.
I fucking do the I'm watching you.
He flips you off.
Oh
She laughs at
god.
that.
You say none of us figured it out, but I can believe that Phelan would do the whole thing. I can believe that she could figure it out.
Honestly.
I will actually tell you something very interesting, because I can believe that Phelan can get really far. But I'm just going to say that one of you three would ask somebody about that equation, and somebody who's a native Arcavian would actually tell you that that is called the Vorjani conjecture, and that is an impossible equation. Specifically.
They literally tricked us. I'm so mad.
They literally gave you something impossible, and they were like, how would you figure out something that can't be solved?
And then they were like, you suck. Anyway, bye. And we're like, what?
I knew you
Matita's
would like
gonna-
that, Flynn. I'm sorry I punked the other two, though.
Matita's gonna look to Dove and she fucking and she's just gonna look at Fletcher. Neither of you are stupid.
I think Dove
Never
is going
did
to
that.
like literally apologize to River and Fletcher and say, I'm not really sure what happened there, but that is not a good example of learning equations, especially when they are long and impossible to solve.
I think that both River and Fletcher actually look more relieved than anything after the case, and I feel like they both reassure you that like what you did really helped them at least understand what was being said, even if like it's kind of dumb, the idea. I think especially Fletcher and River are like, it's really dumb that there's like math that's like not real. They just gave us math that was fake.
Motiva's gonna look at them and she's going to say, never come to my plane. That's all that math is. None of it is real. I hate it.
I think Dove will kind of just smile at the other two of them and just say, I think I know one campus for both of you that I don't think you'll be picking now. Because that's all Quandrix is.
And River just says, fuck the math one.
God.
Sorry, Philin.
Philin in the back.
Also, really quick, I am going to pause. I would like to eat some of my pizza, but we can chit chat as like a little break.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give general hangout music. Now that we are back in, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put like generally lively music. Okay. You guys now are officially finished. That was the end of study hall, because I imagine you took actually a big portion of the study hall figuring out how you wanted to do your assignment. So what would you like to do?
Dove actually won't stay and hang out for that long because of what was promised earlier.
Yeah, so you're waiting around for Quintilius.
Yeah, so Dove will leave study hall for that.
Nice. So you can go ahead and just hang out kind of like around where the lecture hall is, but just sort of like waiting visually. Motiva, what are you doing?
Motiva wants to do two things.
Yeah.
Motiva wants to tell Aurora she'll see her in a minute, but she needs to talk to somebody about something, and I want to find Drasomir.
Drasomir. Yeah, you can find him in the Biblioplex. He is working. So he's behind like a little help desk, and he kind of perks up when he sees you, and he's like, "Oh, hello, Motiva.
Hello.
Hi. Did you need anything?"
So I had a few questions about if I joined the Dead Languages Club, the Dead Poets Society.
Oh, yes. If you have any concerns, I'd love to alleviate them.
Did Quintilius already talk to you about this?
About what? He kind of
Oh.
tilts his head and he kind of shakes a hand and laughs and says, "We don't really talk much outside of clubs."
I see. Anyways, Motiva's going to speak up and she's going to say, so while I would love to join your club, there is a stipulation that comes with me joining.
Oh?
How do you feel about the cold?
Well, it doesn't particularly bother me. It's pretty cold this time of year.
Just gonna like move her hands around. So I'm just gonna come out with it. I have a ghost that haunts me, and it's not like the Lorehold ghosts where people have control over things done. This is a ghost. And she is not harmful. She does not harm people, but she can make people uncomfortable. And I would not be able to join if you think it would make you or other members uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, I understand that she might be different than Lorehold spirits, but if she's not harming anyone, I don't see why it would make anyone uncomfortable. We're already kind of used to interacting with students' spirits if you work with Lorehold students anyway.
That's more comforting to hear than you'd think.
Are you okay?
No, it's just where I'm from, ghosts are, I was considered quite demonic where I'm from.
Oh. Were demons seen as bad where you're from? I was under the impression that demons were quite normal.
It's a cultural thing. In my culture, there's no such things as demons as other people put it. There's no such things of beings of pure evil, if that's what you're asking in my culture. But
I'm not sure I would say that demons are evil. They're just a people.
In my plane, they are the arbiters of all things terrible. And she puts quotes around that. I don't buy into it, but people get very scared by ghosts.
Well, I don't really see it being a problem unless you see it that it's a problem.
Oh, no, I rather like her. She's a muse of mine.
I think everything will be fine.
Okay, Motiva's gonna hold out her hand and she says, I'd love to join.
Oh, great. When I finish my shift, we should start up our club activities. We normally just meet in the Biblioplex because there's a lot of books around.
When's that going to be?
I checked my watch. You have an hour after class for free time before extracurriculars start.
Okay, Motiva's going to say, okay, that sounds great. I'm going to book it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you your D4s really quick.
I'm gonna find fucking Aurora.
1 second. I'm giving you your D4s. Clubs. Also, I'm gonna do Mackenzie's thing before I do your Aurora thing.
No, it's totally cool.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Also, I love Mr. Drazimir. I love people not calling Motiva a little fucking demon.
The Minotaur guy, right?
Yes,
I love him.
I think he's
I
cute.
have- I love him.
Okay, I sent you your thing. So now we're gonna go to Dove's thing as you wait for Quintilius. You see, it takes a couple minutes. You're waiting for maybe about 20 minutes before he comes and collects you, and he says, "There you are."
Hello. Yes. Study hall ended a little bit early today.
No, that's understandable. That's how study halls can be sometimes. I hope I didn't leave you waiting terribly long.
Oh no, not at all. It took a little bit longer. We still finished early, but the blue deans were in today.
Yes, they're I think that they have some insight, but every dean is eccentric in their own way.
Just kind of sighs and says, it was fine for the most part, but the equation that they asked us to solve felt a bit cruel when I finally figured out what they asked us to do.
I see. Ibrahim is still going after his conjecture solution, I see.
Yes.
You see Quintilius lean in as he goes to start walking with you, going to offer offer an arm, and he says, be careful if you take any classes with him then. He practically spends all of his theory classes working on that.
Deb will accept the arm, kind of putting one of their hands on it. And they just kind of laugh and say, that is good to know. It does make me wonder how he's able to stay a dean if all he does is try to get people to help him with his theories.
Well, because theoretically, and he kind of laughs, theoretically he is the best here at what he does, and theory is a pillar of Quandrix.
Deb just kind of smiles and says, I don't know terribly much about the campuses, but I know enough about math and equations and the like, but I really don't know if Quandrix will be my true love.
That's fair. I feel like a very particular sort of person chooses to go into Quandrix.
I think it would be wonderful for Phelan, but I don't know about myself.
Phelan's smile. I'm sorry, Phelan. I'm sorry. People don't like math.
We love you. We love.
But as you guys go to sort of walk, you don't really leave the biblioplex. You actually go to the teleportation room, and he kind of meanders you over to the Dramarium, actually, which is the complex that the Grey Room is inside of.
Yay! I remember.
Yes, and he kind of takes you through some of the rooms on the Dramarium side, and he takes you to this sort of room that has mirrors all around. It kind of looks like a ballet dance room. And you see that there is a good handful of students kind of in here doing stretches, wearing like pretty comfortable clothes. Most people dress down for this sort of thing. And he's going to kind of explain what they're kind of doing right now. People are kind of using this club meetup before actual like tryouts and practice to kind of keep up to shape with certain things. So like some people practice like fake like sword fighting, and some people like to practice oration, or some people go over to like some of the other amenities in the Dramarium specifically for practice. So it's kind of just like group and solo practice in a structured time.
Mhm.
And one of the NPCs that you meet coming here today, you actually did get a chance to meet Rubina, and I will give you her art as she goes to kind of shake your hand when Quintilius introduces you. And this is what she looks like.
She's very beautiful.
She's very pretty. here is Miss Rubina with sort of this dark skin,
Ooh.
silver and black hair pulled back, and sort of this very regal demeanor. She's not wearing her silver cool robes right now. She's actually wearing sort of like a you know those kind of sweaters that have like a shirt collar underneath them, rolled up on the sleeves, and some fashionable pants and some comfortable shoes. And she's sort of like has a paper book, kind of like the side folded over so she can like read over it. But she takes the time to introduce herself to you and says, "Hello, Dove. I've been hearing that we had a very promising hopeful."
Has Quintilius been talking about me already?
Yes, you've been the talk of the practice room. And Quintilius does not seem embarrassed by that fact at all, and he says, "I told you that I thought that you would be a wonderful fit for this club."
Well, it's lovely to finally meet you, Rubina.
And it's finally
and
nice to put a name to a face.
Yeah, and Dev will reach out and accept her handshake.
Nice. She has a very firm, no-nonsense handshake.
Oh, we'll love to see it.
Yes.
Yes, I am sure that he might have already mentioned it, but being a changeling, I hope it won't be a problem that I have a more, shall we say, built-in arsenal.
You see her kind of give a bit of a chuckle, and she says, "I don't see why it would be a problem. I hope that you don't come in with any predisposition that your abilities automatically equal skill on the stage."
Oh, no, of course not. I only actually brought it up because back in my world, changelings were actually banned from quite a number of stages and the like. There was a guild basically that felt a bit threatened by changelings, so I just wanted to make it clear that I am in no way, shape, or form trying to outdo anyone.
Of course. Well, as long as that's clear, then I can assure you that you will not be spurned away just because your appearance has a wide variety. You will get the roles that you earn, and no one can fault you for that.
Dove smiles brightly and says, honestly, I am glad that you're being upfront with me about this. I don't want any special treatment because of my abilities, so I will be working doubly as hard to ensure that I can get the role.
Wonderful. And you see she looks at Quintilius and kind of nods over to you and says, "You finally brought a good one on."
Get him. Get him, Rita. I love you, ma'am.
She goes to explain to you and say, he does a lot of the recruiting and casts a bit of a wide net. It's not a problem, but it's very exciting to see a member such as yourself fall into our lap.
Thank you. It's been a bit interesting meeting people of different clubs with this.
Of course. Glad we got to you first then.
Out of character question,
Yeah.
do you still need time to decide on other club mates here?
Yes, I already said that ahead of time. I'm basically not going to give you everybody right now. I'm going to do that later.
That's very fair.
Yeah,
That's very
you're
fair.
going to meet one bitch in character, and then I will give you points as we go.
Yes. So is this where we all typically would meet to practice and the like before performances?
This is generally where people like to meet up. Generally, you'll see our club members flitting about the Dramarium. Sometimes the stage, though generally, if we're not actually rehearsing, other clubs use that as well, and classes use it. So, this is kind of to make sure we don't get underfoot.
Of course, I understand.
If you're looking for someone, you can try to find us here, or you should be able to find members wandering around to see what the plan is. But if you show up to meetings, then you'll be kept abreast of what's happening.
Of course. And Dove will look over to Quintilius and say, I suppose I'll also be checking in with you in the mornings in case anything changes.
Of course, I think that would be easiest since we already see each other so often.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that we end your little interaction at that. I do think that Rubina probably says a little comment about you being Quintilius's protege before kind of going off to do her own thing and continue doing her own thing. So you kind of generally practice. You can obviously like tell me what you're doing or think about what you're doing, but it's completely up to your discretion what you do to kind of idly practice in your club meetings.
I think Dove is using this first day to really put a name to a face with everyone. I think they find it very important to like take the time to get to know everyone, especially because like they'll be working so closely with them later down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Even people here who are more just like stagehands or like keep the scenes running behind the back, I think Dove finds it very important to like talk with them.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's just what their first day is doing.
Yeah, 100%. So you can definitely do that for about everybody that you can manage. Again, I will connect with you guys on other people I put in your clubs, but also you're not going to know everybody in your club because if I need to pull a new NPC out of my ass, like a new first year or like a
I'm just generally speaking as what Dove is doing.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you a heads up.
She likes me.
Yeah. She seemed to think you were cool. Awesome. And we finish up that and you spend your like I want to say hour and a half because like extracurriculars is generally an hour. And then you spent a little bit of the extra time after being picked up just hanging out with those guys. And Motiva. You're going to talk to Aurora before your club?
Yes, I corner Aurora.
Okay, you corner Aurora. You see that she has kind of been waiting for you, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?"
I wanted to listen to your music, and I wanted to show off.
Yeah, we can have like a little session. I'm sure we can find a room that's like empty, and we can just vibe.
Nice.
Yeah, and so you find a lecture hall. It's really easy to like duck into like a room and find it empty, and then you guys start kind of like generally jamming. I feel like this kind of goes over a bit more quickly because it's sort of like what the heck? Oh, that sucks. What the hell? But yeah, you guys kind of jam out and talk shop. I don't know enough about hurdy-gurdies or opera to talk shop, but you guys talk shop.
I can give you an example of what Motiva would sound like with operatic stuff.
I would love you to send me that. I can't listen to it right now or it'll get on the recording.
Just know that it's really good.
Nice. Yeah, I think that you guys talk shop, and I think that's really cute. And if you have any questions or things that you wanted to talk with Aurora about, you can definitely connect with me. Same with you, Dove. If you ever want to expand upon like club meetings, I'm probably going to gloss over them mostly in game unless there's an actual event. But if you guys ever want to talk with people, you can come to me. This talk's easy peasy. So yeah, you do that for a little bit, and then I'm going to say, so here's the difficult part about clubs. I have to figure out which is your first and which is your second club. I'm going to say it makes it easier for it to be LARP and then Dead Languages Society because Quintilius goes to both, and Quintilius is already at acting club.
Mm-hmm.
So you run off to go find your LARP buddies because you actually don't know. They don't have a meetup room, but you kind of just scour all of the lawns in the central campus until you find somebody you recognize that you can grab.
Where's the LARP club?
And they kind of bring you as a straggler over to the rest of the LARP club, and you spend some time LARPing. You know everybody in there already that I've kinned as LARP club, so you just
Yes.
have a good time playing with your friends.
I want to mention Motiva's voice is probably actually really hoarse because she didn't practice before doing opera, and
my
you're
God.
supposed to do that.
Oh my god, your voice is gonna be shot by the time you get to Dead Languages Society.
That's fine.
That is a-okay. But yeah, you play with your friends for about an hour, and then you go to Dead Languages Society, which has Sweet Jasimir and Dreaded Quintilius. And it's 100% you guys just sitting in a circle of chairs, like reading and occasionally talking. It's kind of boring, but it's an interest you have, which makes it less boring. You know?
Yeah, Motiva's literally just tuning out reading.
Yeah, so it's like a nice chill time after you've been running around. Dev, what do you want to use your second extracurricular block on?
Ooh, good question.
Gun.
Huh?
Gun.
Gun?
I'm gonna fucking shoot you. Join the LARP club.
Oh my god! But my second activity is happening after you've LARPed already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And?
Sitting and being bullied.
Go ahead and do
Stop
what you want. I love
bullying
you.
Mackenzie.
I love you. Go ahead.
Okay, out of character question, if I tried to find the LARP club, would they even still be LARPing? Or is that just a waste
Honestly,
of time?
I am going to let you do it because this is a thing that I only just realized might be an issue, but I don't want to have restrictions on clubs. If that makes sense. So you can
Yeah.
find the LARP club if you want it.
Okay, I was going to talk to Aurora after class, but I can do that when we go to like dinner tonight. So, I will have Dove seek out the LARP club. I don't have a character made. I know we kind of talked about like the process of character creation before.
Mhm.
But I kind of wanted Dove to just kind of like watch for a little bit and then maybe kind of like make a character.
Oh,
And
that's
like
really cute.
yeah,
Yeah, so like
just kind of
spectating while idly
crafting.
working on stuff while they're doing stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
cute. Yeah, I'll allow that. I think
Sorry,
that
it's
that's-
not very exciting, but
No,
No,
I
it's
like it. I
cute.
was
talk
really
about it
I was
later.
No, I like it, especially because I don't really want you guys to be doing club activities if you're not a part of the club. So I like that this is like a nice middle ground of like I'm interested in it, but I'm not like going gung ho in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant earlier when I was like, I just want Dove to like go to see it
Mhm.
and not be like, I'm gonna practice and make it to everything without dedicating to it. So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so you can definitely do that while they finish up their LARP and wrap things up. You kind of spend time around some people who are making costumes, especially because like the main play is done. But I think that that's definitely a really cute way to spend your time. Yeah, and then you guys end up meeting up around the Biblioplex when your extracurriculars are done and you are together again.
how was your club's Motiva?
It actually went really well. I'm really happy that ghosts are okay here.
That was very nice to hear about, though. I was worried that you might be uncomfortable, but I'm glad that you'll be welcomed.
Me too. You
So-
remember River saying you promised not to be an asshole about them being a shifter?
Yes.
This is my promise not to be an asshole moment.
So, how is the club with the Dead Languages Society?
It was very quiet. It was actually really pleasant.
I feel like I have to apologize for this morning. I was very excited to introduce you to Quintilius. I didn't stop to think that maybe you two wouldn't get along that well.
No, it's a common misunderstanding that artists will all get along. I don't blame you.
It
Both of
would have
us
been.
are rather rough.
I was hoping it would work out, honestly, but I suppose that was my fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just don't get along with preps.
What, a prep?
What Quintilius acts as in the narrative of a school environment.
Oh, am I different from that then?
And Motiva's gonna look you over and say, it's a very hard equation with a lot of harsh rules. So you probably wouldn't follow under nerd or prep directly. Uh, you might be a cross between a prep and a goth, but it would be very light and leaning towards the nerd side. You'd be a perp.
I don't like that word.
A purd? I think that would. A nerp.
Nerp.
Oh,
Is that better? Is that better?
no, but I'll take it.
Anyway. Motiva just nods. It's a very hard equation with very harsh rules, so it's not an exact science or math.
Oh, I understand.
He's probably a Pisces. Anyway,
Uh,
she claps her hands together. And says, what do you want to do?
can I check what time it is?
Yes. So after clubs, this should be around 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is the natural end of a school day.
Gotcha. It is around 6 at the moment, and we could go get dinner, or we could go back to the room to relax for a little while.
We could get some dinner and relax. Yes. Ooh, maybe we could take the dinner back to the room.
Oh, it's too bad that Ashan's not here. We could ask if he wanted anything.
No, he laughed at us. He doesn't get to have dinner with us.
Well, we can't starve him just because he wants to laugh at us.
I hope his pillow is warm at night.
Well, if he's not careful, he'll roll off the top of the bed.
Then he'll wheeze like a turtle, and that would make me feel bad.
Oh, I did go to the LARP club after I was done with the drama guild, though. I think I just missed you, but it was nice being able to see it.
Isn't it fun? It's very
It was
creative.
very fun to watch. Oh, and I did also get to meet Rubina, and I definitely see about her very powerful personality now, but as far as I could tell, she seemed to like me just fine.
I can believe it. You're very likable.
Oh, thank you. I think she might have been under the misconception that because I was a changeling, I thought that my own abilities were great just because of that, but I assured her that was not the case.
No, you're just a good actor, and she's gonna have to deal with that.
You flatter me.
Yes. Motiva's gonna grab Dove.
Dove is going to link their arms together and they're going to go to the tavern.
Go to the tavern. Let me get the music change.
I hope you're having fun, Sarah.
Nice. Hell yeah. So, I get to roll for tavern encounters. Okay.
fucking jam.
Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so of the people that you see tonight, you see River again at the bar, sort of excitedly talking to, and also you can't get the vibe of like if it's like excitedly talking to or excitedly badgering Javanish, but River's hanging out and talking to Javanish at the bar. You see a pale woman with sort of long black hair, dressed in a really beautiful silver and black gown, kind of walking around and like talking to people at tables. You see in the back corner, a Don Kai is sitting at a table, but Nim is not at the table with him tonight. And Motiva, you actually recognize Dina sitting at a table with multiple cups in front of her. And that's all the people that you see today.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Dina's here.
With multiple cups in front of her.
Yeah, but by herself at the table. What are you guys doing?
Motiva's gonna look to Dove. She's going to say, so, do we sit with the person who's always with somebody but is suddenly alone? Or, she points to Dina.
Who's that?
Her name is Dina.
I will describe her, and I'll show you her art.
She's the person who took me to the witch's clinic.
So you see a woman who has this sort of bright green skin and is wearing sort of tattered green and silver like robes in a sort of dress style. But the most startling thing about her is that her head is her hair is basically made up of leaves and vines and glowing orange like fruit. And she has bright orange eyes. And I'll show you her art.
Oh. Pretty.
No, she's super pretty. I'm not fucking with you. She has my favorite art in the entirety of Strixhaven.
Oh, pretty.
Yes.
Lady.
Pretty lady.
Pretty lady.
Pretty lady.
Pretty lady.
I shake my...
Sarah, you also can feel free to talk to me about whenever we do your mini sessions, who you would like to talk to in this dinner. Yes.
Motiva shakes her bag of NPCs.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me, you know, Motiva.
Go ahead.
You guys deliberate. I have to use the bathroom. Okay, so we're back, and our two students, Dev and Motiva, have decided to split up their time. I'm sorry, which one were you guys doing?
Was going to go talk to Dina.
Awesome, so you go and you approach Dina and hang out with Dina, and then Motiva...
Adankai.
Okay, nice. And you go and you spend time with Adankai, who does not have his normal table buddy with him. And you guys have a nice little social going out where you get to eat. And you come back to rest. This is a good time to technically stop because we're at 9, but if you guys want, we can do another sleep and then do the green class, and then I can stop right after assignments. But it's up to what y'all want to do.
I want a green.
You want green? Okay. Mackenzie?
Sarah, how do you feel
yeah,
about
Sarah,
that?
how do you feel about that?
You want green? You want us to
Okay.
keep going?
Let's do some green. We're gonna dance like little jesters for Sarah to make them feel better. Nice. Okay, cool. So you guys go to sleep. Going to change the music once again.
We all a little bit of a jester in our room.
Yeah. We jangle.
Jingle jangle. Alright, so you go back to the room and you go to lay down. Once again, Sean is doing the same thing that he's been doing for the past couple days, kind of going through his book, writing down things, and sleeping. And as you both go to lie down, I want you both to roll me perceptions again.
Damn it. 10.
Okay.
I'm never gonna see it. It could strangle me and I'll just be deep asleep.
I don't know about that. Because as you guys both go down to lay down, Fulin also again here, awake because of your trance. You see the same figure you saw last night. A woman kneeling down in that worn dress, hair tied back, crying into her hands by Motiva's bed. The room has a chill to it, even more biting than the chill of the daytime. And in the middle of your sleep, you both feel like even in your dreams, you can hear a wailing over what is happening. But you wake up and nothing is out of the ordinary, and it's a new day.
Motiva gets like it's no big deal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you've had some spooky sleepy time moments. It's morning and it's bright and it's a new day. Dove, how do you feel about that? I don't know how much Dove dreams.
Kind of hard to say. That's kind of a difficult thing to like quantify. But I don't know. I think it's a bit like off-putting in the dream, but I think like there was nothing else that happened that made Dove feel like it was out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I think that's very realistic, and that's completely
So I
fine.
think Dove kind of just puts it aside like, oh, it's just a dream, and then goes to get ready for the day.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll keep you posted if it keeps happening.
Thanks.
And you guys go to get ready for class. The same old, same old?
Aw.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's really cute is as the farther you get into class, I kind of talked about this a bit at the beginning of the session, but like every day, dorm's haunted. You see different people sort of getting up and getting ready in this first year dorms, and it kind of really fills in you the feeling that this is a full dorm room filled with people that are mostly your friends. Like for a while, Chad comes in to kind of style up his hair with some pomade. You definitely see River stumble in, sleepy and bleary-eyed, to brush their teeth and that sort of thing. And I just think it's very cute.
Dove points out that they still have a bit of sleep in their eyes.
Fuck. And you see them go to start like rubbing at it aggressively. And they go like, thanks, man. But then in the middle of man, they start yawning, and you get to see their big old shifter teeths. I feel like River yawns like a cat, as in not even covering it up at all.
Yeah, big yawn.
Big yawn.
I love that so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I just think it's very cute. And so, unless you guys do anything particularly interesting in your morning routine, or when you go and get your breakfast, feel free to tell me, or else we'll kind of start going over to class.
I really like the image of Mativa still sitting with Dove.
Oh God, please, please help me. No, I can't do this shit again.
There's still a very passive aggressive air as you guys all talk together, but it's mostly just Motiva and Quintilius talking to Dove and occasionally sending vitriolic comments to each other.
Dove tries their best to like keep it civil, and
Yeah.
they do. I don't want to say they do a decent job of it. They just try. They just try to keep it civil. I think Quintilius. I think Dove will comment to Quintilius that they had a lot of fun at the club, though.
Oh, that's really cute. I think that Quintilius would legitimately say that he's like glad that you had fun and that he finds a lot of satisfaction in the guild, and he thinks that you're gonna fit right in.
And I think they will also mention that they're glad that Rubina seemed to appreciate them.
I think Quintilius would also kind of laugh and kind of mirror something that he said in the RP, where it's just like, I bet you're glad to not be on the bad side of a Silver Quill woman.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Nice. And if that's the case, take out your monies if you bought any drinks.
I will do so.
Delicious. And other than that, we can go over to the class.
Green, green, green. Baba
Yeah.
Yaga, Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. Okay, cool. This one's gonna be a little bit more, I'm gonna have to pick through what I'm gonna say because I didn't outright write the class down like I did with Red, but it should still be fine because we have time. Okay, let me go and get my music. And you file back into that Biblioplex lecture hall once again to get ready for your day of classes. This time, as you sort of settle down, I feel like you guys sort of start settling down into not necessarily groups, but you start sitting closer and closer to people that you generally talk to during study hall. So this time, I feel like Fletcher and River actually sit pretty close to both Dove and Motiva. Just ready in case shit's wildin'. And you see the teachers walk in, and the first one that you notice walk in. Let me get their description. You see a woman dressed in this sort of green armor, almost green, like dyed leather armor. That has this sort of dark skin, elaborate brown hair in this sort of like updo with this sort of decoration of feathers and purple flowers that also mirrors a sort of feathered pauldron on her shoulders, and these sort of big hoop earrings and this belt of colored liquids in vials and bottles. And she goes in and she sort of goes to lean against the desk and kind of, in a way that's unnerving, starts to kind of size up the class without greeting any of you. I will show you what she looks like, because I think her design is very cool.
Ooh.
Hello.
Not quite Baba Yaga, but
Yeah.
Ooh.
And as she's sort of doing this, you hear the doors open again, and you hear a sort of a very wise feminine voice say, "Hello, class." And you see an elven woman go to start walking down the stairs to the central lecture floor, and you see that she is wearing this sort of elaborate, like tiered gown of white, green, and gold. And she has these cute big earrings, these like circle spectacles, and this sort of hairstyle that's like reminiscent of like when people have bows but made of hair in this cute little pattern. And this is what she looks like.
Oh.
And she turns to the class with a bright smile and she says, "Hello, I hope everyone is ready to face the day and is excited for another day of talking about the fundamentals of magic. Um, you can call me Kian. I am the Dean of Substance on Quandrix. And something that you notice that's very interesting, actually, is that she goes to start teaching without introducing the other woman here. And the other lectures had kind of both deans talking in tandem. As the more that this woman talks, the more apparent it is that the other teacher actually doesn't go to start talking at all and is spending the entire lecture just kind of focusing on one or two students to kind of watch you as you're being taught about green mana. Please keep this in mind while I lecture you.
Witherbloom be unnerving, yep.
Yep.
Damn.
You see, though, that Kian, who'd introduced herself to you, goes to float a piece of chalk to write on the chalkboard 5 words, which are the words that you've come to associate with these mana colors because it's happened every class. And the words are nature, wildlife, connection, spirituality, and tradition. And she goes to start lecturing, and she says, "Green is one of the 5 colors of mana. On the color pie, it is the ally of white and red, and the enemy of blue and black. And the mana symbol for green is represented by a tree. Its power is drawn from forests and embodies the principles of instinct and interdependence. Green seeks growth through acceptance, though it also has previously been described as seeking harmony or acceptance through growth, or growth through wisdom. Something to understand about green is that it doesn't want to change the world. It wants everyone to accept the world as it is. Green is convinced that the world already got everything right. It instead focuses on trying to coexist with it instead of trying to change it, regulate it, or enforce norms upon it. Green is the color of nature and interdependence, believing very strongly that there is a beauty to the natural order and that in the natural order, all of the answers to life can be found. And in fact, obeying the natural order alone is the best way to exist. It thus favors a simplistic way of living in harmony with the rest of the world and other colors of mana. This often leads to it sort of having an assumption of pacifism, or that it seeks to not make contact with other colors, but it instead is proven to be very fierce when it feels threatened. And it also can be associated with predatory or aggressive tendencies, depending on dictation of instincts. Green believes that each individual is born with all of the potential that they need, that it's imprinted even to its smallest pieces, and that everyone is born with a role, and the goal is to recognize it, to therefore embrace it, and thus do what they were meant to do, and the roles that they were meant to perform. And in that role, they find their place in their interconnectivity of the web of life. Everyone has to learn how you fit into the larger picture, because we are not alone, and we are all connected. As I said earlier, green is the color that is most in tune with nature, whereas other colors seek to modify the world around them and affect it based on their principles. Green believes the best course of action is to simply allow it to take its natural course, to study it, to help it grow. Green also places value on the concept of community, although it does not take it as far as white mana might, green sees intrinsic value in coming together for the benefit of the whole group. It draws this example from nature, having observed such examples as the way that bees gather pollen from flowers to make honey, and in doing so allow the flowers to cross-pollinate. Green communities seek to live in the same harmonious way, taking only what they need from others and giving back to them in due course. Tying in with green's affinity with nature, another of the color's core principles is strength and the concept of survival of the fittest. Green sees the struggle between predator and prey as a central part of natural order and so places great value on strength. When in battle, green does not favor trickery or evasion to steal the victory, relying instead on pitting its natural strength against that of its opponents. The strong will triumph, the weak will fail. Whether green wins or loses that sort of contest, it has its faith placed in its place in the natural order. There is occasionally discussions of one of green's more negative outlooks is its disdain for the artificial, or what people like to say, a disdain of civilization. And while that can be true for some creatures that utilize green mana and for some parts of nature, or some peoples that rely heavily on nature, it is more so the idea that they do not want these things to be overwritten. And so the philosophy of nature versus civilization is one that's been talked to for many millennia and will probably be talked about for many a millennia to come. But as an extension of accepting its fate in the world, green is strongly fatalistic, trusting in destiny to divine the way things should go. At best, this makes green a romantic, believing that the good things in life were predestined. At worst, it can make the hostilities to the idea of free will and the right of individuals. But speaking about this is the point of color philosophy, and I think it's important to talk about the pros and cons of many of the philosophies of the mana colors of the world. And as she finishes talking, she goes to look over at the woman sort of leaning against the desk, who still hasn't really moved. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Did somebody say something?
I don't think so.
No, I think it was your echo and someone else's thing.
Oh, apologies. I heard a noise and I got scared. But as soon as she stops talking, she goes to sort of turn to the woman leaning against the desk and says, Lisette, what do you think? And you see Lisette go to stand up, as she was called by the other woman, and goes to stand up next to her and kind of scans the crowd. And then kind of locks eyes with you, Dove, and says, you.
Dove goes to stand up.
Come here.
I'm gonna die. Dove does as they are asked, and they push in their chair and they step forward to the front of the class.
You see Lisette goes to cross her arms, and she is a good 5 inches on you, so she kind of looks down at you. And she goes to kind of give you a look over and says, I want you to tell me what you've done to foster community in the last week.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Can I have some time to think about that?
You can, but I will have to
Okay.
wait here. Because we're doing this sequentially.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I hope you like my deans.
Oh my god, ma'am.
I'll
I'll do anything you ask. I
do
love you.
anything you ask, ma'am. Sarah, pop in with Phelan's answer about how she has brought community to Strixhaven and how she will absolutely suck a dick for Miss Lisette.
I assume that she's asking about fostering community here at Strixhaven.
It
Because I
could
would
be
have a
anything that's happened in a week.
okay, that is fair because I had a really good answer. I'm like, fuck, it would have been wasted if she meant here. I'm trying to think of so I have that answer. I just want to think about stuff that I've done while here as well.
Yeah, take your time. I love to bask in how I feel like every time we end a class, you guys are flabbergasted, and it makes me feel really powerful.
Yeah. Oh God. I've literally forgotten everything Motiva has done this entire game.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to say. So Double speak up. Not really cowed by the, like the bluntness that she just had calling them up first,
Mhm.
but speak easily enough, and they say, actually, is it okay if I just would it be easier if I said it in character or
You can say it in character, or you can just say it vaguely, but you can just give me the thesis statement and do the roll.
okay? So Dove will basically explain that within the last week, just before they came to Strixhaven, that they went out of their way to buy everything needed over the course of the winter, blankets, clothes, any additional materials to provide for the High Walls district of refugees that they help look after, um, that they have been helping to look after these
Okay.
past few years.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's do it.
Checking on them, teaching the children there with just one last kind of recap session before they left. And since coming here, unfortunately, they haven't had an opportunity to do too much as of yet, but they've been trying to do it where they can and trying to help the people here in this class with whatever they don't really understand and uh, trying to go around and introduce themselves to everyone. And if I may, I would like to make that with charisma still.
Yeah, feel free. You get to pick it. I don't pick it for you.
Shit. Okay. Oh, okay, not bad. 14.
You go to give your spiel, and Lisette kind of just watches you as you say it, and as you're done, she sort of nods and she says, "I like you. Sit down." And she points to another person and she says, "You." And then she kind of gestures for them to come down. And something very interesting happens when they come up to Lisette because she asks them a different question.
Oh no. Shit.
Ah,
her a
you
lot.
can't
I like
over
her a
prepare for this
lot.
one. Let me pick my Motiva question really quick.
I like her so much. Why did you make her so hot for?
Thanks. I like Lisette a lot.
She likes me. Thanks. I thought that answer of what they did just before coming here was very good.
Oh, it was very juicy. It was very juicy.
That was something that nobody else knew yet.
Yes.
I would love to go into detail about that later. Very fun. Aww. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to get a marriage proposal over here. Do you mind?
Yes. 2 days in a row, we have been fucked.
At least I actually wanted to say this, but I think as soon as they like start talking about what green means, I think I want Dove to like really quietly mention to both Fletcher and River and just say, "Oh, I think you guys will be perfect with this one."
Yeah, I think that they would agree. Them, oh my god, somebody who's fucking normal.
Finally. Finally. Nature? Yes, I know all about her.
I know all about her.
Non-traditional teaching methods. Bro, I'm so scared.
You'll be fine.
I'm really sorry I didn't have more questions prepared. because I didn't technically know we were going to do the green class, but I was very excited at the idea of the questions were all scrambled.
No,
I
I
love
love
that.
it. This Dean loudly. People have been too soft to you. Are you pausing while you're...
Oh no, but I can. So you come down, Motiva, as she points at you and gestures for you to come before her, and she looks at you and she says, "Tell me, someone you hurt. It could be a stranger, it could be someone you love, doesn't matter. The only cure is something that can kill you if you handle it wrong. What do you do?"
What?
What do you do?
Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, somebody around you is hurt. It can be a stranger or it can be a loved one. The only way to save them is to handle a plant that can kill you. What do you do, Motiva? Yeah.
Oh. Well, you need to give me a second now. Damn.
Yeah. Woo woo.
Oh, fuck me.
Lisette is really intense and I like her.
Aw.
Hey, why did you pick me first?
She thought you were hot.
I didn't want to pick the person with withered bloom hair.
This is the reason why she's asking this question to me. Her loudly, I see you.
Give me your withered
What you
bloom
gonna-
thoughts, fucking withered bloom fan club. I'm gonna pause while I eat some pizza. Okay, give me your answer.
I want to mention, I had to think for like 10 minutes. Motiva would be able to immediately answer.
Yeah.
And she would say, there's a cure for everything. If I die handling it, that's my fault. I'll just cure the person.
Lissette's gonna look at you and say, "But if you die while handling the plant, you can't save them. What do you do then?"
I didn't know this was a 2-part essay, Panini.
Lissette's like this. What does Motiva say?
Motiva looks them dead ass in the eye and just says, I won't.
I love that. Give me your roll.
Fuck. Wouldn't it suck if I got like a 2? Oh shit, I just jinxed myself.
Yeah, don't say that shit before you roll, bestie. Nice.
Oh, you're fine.
You see Lisette look at you for a long second, and she says, "Meet me after class." And points at another person to get their answer.
Oh my god! What have you done? Oh.
Anyways, how do you guys feel about that one?
I know, right? I can't tell if you just fucked up big time or if you were just like, hell yeah, I love that shit.
Her loudly, okay, I'll give you the fucking plant that can kill you. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's see if you talk big shot when I put poison in your hands. But no, you don't know what it is. I'm really glad to hear that all of the characters that I'm trying to make hard to read are successfully hard to read. That makes me feel so powerful. For the third part of your essay.
I see you have do not resuscitate orders on your profile here. That's very interesting. Hold this plant.
Wait, I need to know what she's gonna say to me. Please, God.
No, that's the next session. Because we're ending at the end of class.
Oh, I guess if we're ending, how do Fletcher and River do? You don't need to go over their questions, but I want to make sure that I know they do good.
I think they do really good. I personally think that you would see that River gets like a nod, and when they come back, they seem really jazzed. And I think that whenever you see Fletcher go down, the conversation is kind of longer, like it was with Motiva. But you see before Lisette sends off Fletcher, Lisette puts a hand on his shoulder. That's all
Oh,
I'm telling you. But I think it's cool.
That was
But like
Giselle.
Fletcher.
Yeah.
I think she could tell gentle loving boy.
Yeah.
Gentle
Just a little
loving
farm
animal
boy.
Just a little farm boy.
Yeah.
how's Giselle? How's Giselle?
I
Yeah.
think that Giselle seems like thrown for a loop and like nervous, but I think that she seems like she did fine overall, if that makes sense.
Interesting. Who looks like
Kind
they
of-
fucked up? I'm genuinely curious.
What?
Is there anybody that looks like they fucked up?
I'm not gonna lie, besties. I'm not like I have not rolled other NPCs assignments. I'm just going on the vibes of if they would understand Green.
Fair.
Thank you.
This has just been a very curious class.
Oh yeah, you get the feeling that people either did pretty good or pretty bad. So I just think that that's interesting. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop the episode so I can start uploading it.
Delicious.